Hey, everybody. So I'm not even bringing us in with the Dads and Drinks show music tonight or
No.
today. Jesus, he's calling it tonight.
Already. Look, this should be interesting because apparently my 8-year-old doesn't respect daylight savings time. So he still woke me up at 6 a.m., aka 5 a.m. Um, so I've been going for a little bit.
I drank through daylight savings time, which
Attaboy.
which kind of messes with your head a little bit when you're like, oh, it's 2:15. I got to wake up early, and then like an hour's passed, and you look at your phone, and you're like, it's 2:32. It's like I just watched something that was more than an hour long. Why am I still? What am I in a time? And then I'm like, oh, is today? I didn't even realize it was daylight savings.
Oh, that had to screw with you. It's time travel.
Yeah, well, I time travel enough as it is being a drunk, but yeah, this is. I've got my coffee. We're gonna switch to more fun drinks.
We're already there.
Oh, there you go.
Well, again, I got up at the 5, so I've been hitting Red Bulls pretty hard.
Mm.
I'm jacked up and ready to roll.
That's true. I did wake up, no problem. Without the I had an alarm set, but without the alarm. So we'll see. Now my goal is I want to get nice and jolly during this Dolphins Chiefs game here in Germany. However, I need to stay coherent enough to get through the Saints game at 1:00. So I'm on the tightrope. Is that a thing? My brain's not working well.
Look, my whole game plan is I'll be sufficiently ready to take a nap by the time the 1:00 kick off, and there's nothing really pressing for me on the 1:00 slate. So I figured get a nice drunken power nap in, wake back up for the Eagles Cowboys, finish up strong with the Bills and Bengals.
I'm thinking the first half of the 4:00 games is going to be my nap time.
Yeah, well, I mean, dude, you should be able to nap by the third quarter, right?
The Saints never make anything easy, man.
They should, though, man. I mean, if you don't do it against the Bears, I mean, come on, boss. That's got to be.
Yeah. Well, now I can hear your national anthem in the background.
I'll bring my volumes down. Playing in Germany.
I'm curious. We're not going to necessarily do play-by-play, but we are going to be reacting to the game that's going on, and I've got some other fun stuff going on too here.
Nice.
I'm this is a Sunday morning, man. So I will be going through, doing my normal routine, meaning I'll be checking my fantasy lineup. I'll probably ask for advice on that. I got to go through and make my picks. I'm 15 ahead of Jeremiah on the season.
You haven't made your picks yet?
Well, I have, but I always go through the game day and make sure, Actually, I should probably hop on that right now with this game about to start.
Yeah, because there's a couple of things. I mean, is Matt Stafford definitely out today?
I don't know.
That's a 1:00 game. We should know.
We'll be checking the Twitter.
Verse. All right, hang on. I got to take care of this volume thing. It's giving me shit.
Okay. So first things first is the Dolphins. Jeremiah's not going to like to hear this, but the Dolphins Chiefs game. I've got the Chiefs winning this one. And I'm guessing Jeremiah has the Dolphins winning.
Yeah.
As did 4 out of the 5 experts on NFL Network. I hope the Dolphins win, but my pick's going to be the Chiefs here in this early game.
I told you this the other night, dude. It really is. I just want a decent showing. I really do. I mean, I'm not, I just want to compete because I feel like against the Eagles and the Bills, that didn't exactly happen. And so I just want to see this one stay tight.
I think Travis Kelce is the Antichrist. I really hate that man.
Well, look, I'm super excited because I don't see a reason in the world that you don't just shadow Jalen Ramsey on him the entire game.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
He'll still get his, but he's not going to get it the same way. Ramsey can get physical with him, and Ramsey can cover.
I don't understand. Kelsey is so good against zone coverage. I don't understand why he is always so wide open. That's something that really bothers me. It also bothers me that this dude's doing commercials for big pharma and big banks. Yeah. He's like the most evil human being on the planet. He's like controlled by the man. And now he's hating Taylor Swift. Yeah. It's the only time her name will come up today.
And I think what it is, you watch enough of Kansas City stuff, and Tua's starting to develop this a little bit with Tyreek, but there's so many breakdowns in their route tree, right? I mean, the number of passes that Mahomes completes outside of progression is almost equal to the ones he does within the offense. And so he has that way of when he scrambles and he buys time, Kelsey knows where to find the spot and just sit or to work himself back. So, Tua's starting to get that a little bit with Tyreek, but I think that's what you see with Kelsey and Mahomes more than anything is those guys are just playing backyard football.
Yeah. Yeah, they're off book a lot of times, and they read each other's mind. I respect the hell out of Mahomes. I just think Travis Kelce is a demon.
I mean, Mahomes isn't having a great year.
No.
Interceptions. I mean,
is anyone having a great year?
No, not really, man. QB1, but I mean,
Tua, yeah.
This is where it comes in, man. We got to get pressure starting early.
Yeah, we didn't sync up our TVs or know how in sync we are. But the game is underway. Mahomes hits Marquez Valdez-Scantling for 21 yards. That's my boy. I feel like he's underutilized, honestly.
He truly is. He's coming in he's running the cross, right? Oh yeah. Yep. And when you get a linebacker, these linebackers for the Dolphins can't cover, plain and simple.
MVS, it's a 4-4-4-3 guy. That's not a guy. He's a matchup nightmare. I mean, I think he's 6'5". There's the Antichrist.
Look, man, Deshaun Elliott, who just made that tackle, he impressed me last week. I mean, he brings the hammer from the safety spot. He's the one that knocked Devontae Parker out of the game. But, he came hard. And something, Pacheco, I don't know how, I thought Clyde Edwards-Helaire was pretty good, but he just really got phased out of this thing. And Pacheco runs hard for a little guy, but he's still a little guy.
Yeah, he's an angry runner.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, I think they said Mahomes and those guys were like he runs like he's mad at the field, like he's just stomping every step.
Yeah. He's fun to watch. I wonder how he'll age because it's a violent running style. I'd say
this is as healthy as the Dolphins' defense has been all season. First game with Xavier and Ramsey. Javon Holland's out of concussion protocol. So this is as healthy as they've been.
I saw that coming a mile away.
Yeah. Sky Moore's he's going to be good.
I think so, but he's had some moments that have not been good. He's not always the best hands guy, but that I don't know. That play was so. I feel like the Chiefs. You know what the Chiefs are going to do, and they just do it to you anyways.
Yep. And look, if we cover Kelsey, we can't cover the other tight end.
Noah Gray is. I'm actually a big fan of his. I think he's could be a tight end number one. He's just stuck behind the Antichrist.
Yep. Again, that's 3 times on this drive already that it's been against linebackers. I mean, this is where I expect Fangio to be better than what I've seen so far this year, is you got to adapt. If they're going to go after the linebackers, where are you at? No. You catch that?
I think he did.
Yeah, he did.
Yep. Touchdown, Watson.
That was pretty easy.
As long as it's not Kelsey. He's on my ex-wife's fantasy football team.
that they made that look pretty easy. That's a nice ball.
Well, you look, Mahomes. The worst thing for the
I don't know if
Dolphins
he did
coming
or
into
not,
this
man.
game.
I don't know about this.
Are they reviewing that catch here? I didn't see the ball move, but it definitely hit the ground.
Yeah, and then it pops. I think that's incomplete.
Who the hell knows what a catch is?
Yeah, you can't define it anymore.
No, it's whatever the refs want.
Whatever they decide for that particular quarter.
Yeah. So we'll have a 5-minute review here.
Yeah, it is.
My daughter has the Chiefs defense.
That's not good.
I'm checking my fantasy football team, so we need the Dolphins to score so the Breezes disciples can come through.
I have your Saints in my money league, and their defense has been fantastic for me, except for last week, or was it the week before last? There was 1 week that you guys just got abused.
Actually, I've got Jalen Waddle in this game, so.
Hey, well, back to my little rant right before the maybe supposed touchdown is, I expect Fangio to be better at adjustment. If they're going to keep attacking your linebackers, then why aren't we just in a straight up, nickel package? Why aren't you just keeping a roaming safety? Brandon Jones is healthy. Deshaun Elliott took the position, but why not have, Holland or one of those guys roaming that middle spot? Because if you let them get underneath like that, it's going to happen. I mean, they're going to eat you up.
Yeah. Thanks for the comments, by the way, everyone. Cheers. All right. While we're in this review, I think it's time for me to switch from coffee already.
I'm almost through my first mimosa. So, I've got that and then the Jameson lined up because I expect this one to get hairy in the second half.
I've got I've got a lot of things. I think I'm going to go straight mimosa on this one, but I've got a couple things. I've got mixing a splash of vodka in there maybe might happen. Yeah. But I'm going to go straight mimosa here to start. So, Jeremiah, you can filibust. I'll be right back.
Filibust with Tua and his muscle milk. These are always interesting, man. The morning games. First one in Germany. I guess this is technically a Kansas City home game. Something through the week said that Kansas City got to choose which home game. I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe that was just for the whole, to play out the Tyreek situation. But they said they chose Miami in Germany because they didn't want to go through the booze and the other stuff. Okay, we're back. Call on the field was a touchdown. I still think the ball moved. Coming back from the booth review.
Oh. My orange juice cost as much as my.
Yeah, as much as
I think that's the right call.
Yeah, it moved. Hey, so
my orange juice cost as much as my bubbly here.
yeah, dude. I'll never I don't need to be sipping on. Oh shit! What's the really expensive one that everybody raps about?
Look, I've even got the fancy ice bucket here.
Oh, you do have the ice bucket. Okay, here comes some heat. You got a tackle. Good Lord. He just walked right through him, man.
That is Swiss cheese, man.
Now, the fantasy analysts that I listen to, they love some Rashee Rice. They said that Kansas City went out of their way.
Ooh, there it is.
Let me see.
Hey, he's a good young player. He shows me some stuff. This is genuine crystal made in Slovakia. So see, I've got really.
Sorry, I just crystal.
Oh yeah. So I've got the expensive ice bucket and the crystal champagne flute, and I've got $4.99 bubbly. I call it bubbly because it's not technically champagne.
Okay. So they said somewhere in the offseason that Mahomes lobbied to draft Rashee Rice. That he was a guy that Mahomes was putting in word for.
I tell you what, Mahomes, one of the things with Mahomes that is so special is I know he had Tyreek. So I'm not saying he's been completely devoid of talent, but it seems like you could give him me and you as receivers and he would throw for 5,000 yards.
I was having this discussion with a fellow Dolphin fan at work throughout the week, and people talking about Tua and having the year that he's having, and then tying it to Tyreek Hill. And I say, but when you look back at it, Josh Allen was, almost ran out of the league before Stephon Diggs, right? I mean, Josh Allen was like falling apart and making horrible plays, and they were on the fence with him. Then they bring in Stephon Diggs. He takes it to the next level. And most quarterbacks that you look at have that one guy that takes them to that next spot. And the comparison I made was outside of Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady are the only two quarterbacks that I've watched who can take a lackluster group of receivers
Drew Brees.
And make them dangerous. Yeah, Drew did that a little bit. Yeah. But I felt like, he had Michael Thomas for a lot of that. But
just only for 3-4 years, really. They had Marcus Colston, who never made a Pro Bowl, which is like the biggest travesty. And
there you go. Going to Waddle right out the gate.
There's my fantasy boy. By the way, the only thing that would be worse than his goddamn stupid touchdown dance is if his last name was Buttsex.
That would be an interesting touchdown celebration.
Touchdown, Jalen Buttsex. Oh, God, don't show that. There's kids watching.
Look, no motion in the – well, there we come.
This should be a barn burner.
It really should.
My USF Bulls and Memphis yesterday, which frankly I thought USF was going to get blown out. Final score is 59-50.
Armstead's back too. So
I saw that. Yeah, I love Teron Armstead. I'd love to see his. My son and I have a joke, and I'm forgetting what it is. That he's half robot because he's like every part. Like if you look at the injuries, it's like. Teron Armstead, God damn it. He's on my fantasy team. Of course that's going to happen. I hate talking about fantasy teams, but I got to tell you this. I'm in a league. It's only an 8-team league, and it's my son, my daughter, my parents are both in it, my ex-wife, her mother, and my sister, and me. And through 8 weeks, the points against – which you have no control over in fantasy football. I have 125 more points against me than the second most team, which is my daughter.
Wow.
My ex-wife, 300 points less scored against her in 8 games. It's like, what? Last week I had 155 some points, and I lost because my sister had 160. I'm like, how? I'm just cursed.
So Chase Claypool getting a little run here with Waddle on the sideline.
I don't like that guy.
He's had one catch. Durham Smythe, horribly underrated. And outside of that, I think it was in a press conference this week. Somebody talked to Tyreek Hill about asking if he was the best player on the Dolphins. He was like, I'm not even close. We all know who the best player on the Dolphins is. And he was talking about Alec Ingold. Alec Ingold, the friggin' fullback, he really is a quiet difference maker. The guy opens up holes. He's a great blocker, can catch out of the backfield. He reminds me of my old favorite Dolphins fullback, Rob Conrad.
Oh, yeah.
The survivor, Rob
I was
Conrad.
going to say, didn't we cover him on Dad's a Drink show?
Did. Yeah, when he survived somehow out in the ocean.
He had to backstroke his way.
3rd and 9, Braxton Berrios. It looked like Waddle's knee got clipped in. I don't know what happened there.
Oh, yeah. Teron Armstead, my son and I, though, when he played for the Saints, it's like he's got a dislocated hip, a torn shoulder, a sprained knee, and 2 broken ankles. He's questionable. And he played. Like, it's like this dude
he's tough.
Gets injured. I'm like, he's going to – when he plays 10 games, he goes to the Pro Bowl every year because he is a great player. But he is just he's fallen apart. He's like held together with paper clips and rubber bands at this point. But he's still, when he's out there, He's one of the rare players where, like, I'm curious if he's going to get Hall of Fame consideration. I think he's made 4 or 5 Pro Bowls at this point.
I can tell you this. We hadn't made many other changes across the offensive line besides bringing in Armstead a couple of years back, and the entire line has progressively gotten better. And, I mean, yeah, that's going to be some maturation of the young guys that you drafted. There's going to be some coaching in that, but a big part of that is Teron Armstead. He has a blanket effect down the line, and he's taken mediocre and made them above average.
I also don't by the way, I didn't realize seeing Tua's stats. He's thrown 7 picks this year.
Yeah. And of those 7, 5 of them were pretty bad. You know,
yeah, I'm surprised.
Really bad.
I know Mahomes and Hurts have been a little above average on picks this year, but yeah, Tua I thought was a little bit better. Going backwards. That was Claypool, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Your boy.
He's caught like 1 ball. I think if they get him in the slot.
Claypool.
There's Smythe again. A good tight end out of Notre Dame. Now, is that going to be another false start, or is that encroachment? It looked like they came early.
I don't know why they blew it dead. It looked like, I think it was Chris Jones jumped.
Yeah.
I hate Steve Spagnuolo. Yeah. He was the Saints D coordinator, and they were the worst defense in NFL history in the year that Sean Payton was suspended for bullshit.
Yeah.
No, it was bullshit, man. It was all fabricated bullshit.
Bountygate happened.
No.
Yes,
there were no bounties. There were no bounties.
I'm guaranteeing you there's bounties on people this year in the NFL. Just somebody.
There were no bounties. They had a pay for production pool that did not include injuries. By the way, the Saints, in those years that they allegedly had bounties, one of the least penalized teams and one of the teams, I think they had the fewest injuries. Oh, Tua.
Yeah, Armstead got beat hard on the corner there.
Yeah, I think there were just too many men over there.
Yeah, no, he was overstacked. There was nothing. Tua is learning how to avoid hits. I mean, the judo worked.
The Dolphins are 0-1 when Jeremiah is in attendance.
This is true.
I think they're 0-2 when you've live broadcasted a game on FL Teams.
No, they beat Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay, so 1-2.
Yeah, 1-2. So we're going for 500 on this one.
Good morning, Isaac. But no, it was all fabricated bullshit against the Saints because, remember, this was during the concussion lawsuit.
Yeah. And
they needed a PR move. So it was all fabricated. I remember there was allegedly video of, I think they said it was Anthony Hargrove saying, "Pay me my money, Bobby." And it wasn't him. Like their linchpin evidence, it's like his mouth's not moving. He didn't say that. Nope. So it was fabricated. And when Paul Tagliabue had to do the player suspensions, he basically said this is all bullshit and nobody should be punished because every team has a pay for, you get extra $5,000 if you get the first interception or forced fumble. Every team had it. They just targeted the Saints and made it something it wasn't for multiple reasons. One is because the quality control coach got fired, so he made up a bunch of shit.
Well,
and
you're preaching to the choir on this one, buddy. I mean,
and Roger Goodell just needed a head on a stick. If it was a bigger market team, if it was the Jets or the Giants, they would have. The whole world would know it was all fake. But since it was the Saints, Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk was the only guy who was like, "Hey guys, this is bullshit."
You really think Stephen Ross was the only owner to have Tom Brady come visit him on his yacht? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like this happens in the NFL.
I'll invite Tom Brady on my yacht.
It's like Hogan, right?
Speaking
every play, it's just a matter of if it gets called.
Isaac Edelman has a question for you, Jeremiah. If you can see it, will Jason Sanders miss a field goal today? Maybe the Germany air is different.
If it's outside of 40, I say we just go for it. I don't understand it.
Why he still has a job?
Yeah. And
I don't either.
he was so automatic a couple of years ago, man.
Well, that's why he still has a job.
And it literally is. Everything's an adventure with Jason Sanders.
I don't understand. Obviously, as a Saints fan, the Saints got 30-year-old rookie punter Lou Hedley, who went to Miami. And he is the worst punter that I've ever seen in the last 30 years. He can barely kick the ball 40 yards in the air. They're all line drive, like rugby style.
Oh, geez.
Which doesn't work in the NFL.
That's not good at all.
And for some reason, he still has a job. And they're like, yeah, he doesn't allow, like, big returns. It's like, yeah, but his net is 39 yards.
Right? He doesn't allow big returns. Isn't that more on the special teams?
Well,
right, so we got to get a little pressure here, man.
It's a mixture. Yeah, well, boy, Mahomes does not have good numbers against the Dolphins in his career.
No.
This is what I'm worried about with the Dolphins. They're going to get smacked in the mouth. I feel like they're a soft team, and you can't really fix that in season.
It's hard. And and the bigger part is I feel like when we start getting smacked in the mouth on defense, McDaniel starts getting fancier on offense, and that's when he goes away from the run. Because the only time we can get physical with guys is when we do start continuing to run the ball. And, I mean, right now, Pacheco's just going through it like hot knife through butter.
Yeah. Yeah, well, after that Rice touchdown where he just,
threw 3 tackles.
Walked through.
All right, Waddle's up.
Yeah, it looks like Waddle's probably coming back based on what I'm seeing. He better. I need those fantasy points, man. I can't. I told you who's in that fantasy league. I'm right now not going to make the playoffs, even though I'm the second or third highest scoring team. I've also just been my first 2 picks, Justin Jefferson and Nick Chubb.
Oh, that sucks.
So I've gotten like 4 combined games out of my top 2 picks. Josh Jacobs was my 3rd pick. He's been pretty bad most of the year.
Yeah, that's
the Jalen Waddle, I think, was my 4th pick, and that was a mistake. I hate Jalen Waddle as a player, so I don't know why I don't hate him as a player. He's just limited.
He drops a lot of balls, man.
Yeah,
and big drops in big situations.
Yeah, he's
big situations.
He's kind of soft. He kind of like personifies the Dolphins a little bit. You see Tyreek Hill, he's a little guy.
Hey, you know who's not soft?
He's not soft. Tyreek isn't.
No, AVG, baby. Alex Van Ginkel has been playing hard this year. They've used him at the D end. Watch him come off the edge. They've used him the outside in the linebacker spot. Like, Van Ginkel just goes, man. He's got a motor. Like, that guy makes plays. Him and Sealer, unsung heroes on the defense. I'd keep this guy in there over I guess not. David Long's been playing pretty well. But
I'll give you 2 guesses why he reminds me of Alex Anzalone, and none of it has to do with
the hair.
He plays football.
The hair. That's a nice little
The hair, the skin color.
Yep, everything.
Yeah, right. A jersey number in the 40s.
So this is nice again. And look, again, it's Van Ginkel. Drops back.
Yeah,
that
was an interesting shift in that possession there. They ran the ball twice for 9 yards a pop, and they go to,
they get stopped on 1 run for 2 yards, and then he goes short.
Yeah, I don't. That seemed a little destroyed. That seemed like a Mike McDaniel play call.
He got a little rocked. All right, during this commercial, it's time to go fill this Dolphins cup back up. I'll be right back.
All right. All right, folks. I'm actually about to need to refill this. So we got the afternoon games we're going to talk about, and I think we're also going to do immaculate grid because again, this is my Sunday morning routine. All right, let's go to my pick'em. We all meaning our FL teams pick'em group that includes James, my son, Isaac, Jeremiah, and myself, which I am dominating Isaac and Jeremiah. We all got Thursday's game wrong. I thought Kenny Pickett was not starting, in fairness. But we all picked the Titans. I got the Chiefs in this game. Falcons, Vikings. I'm going Falcons because the Kirk Cousins injury. Browns, Cardinals, going Browns. Josh Dobbs got traded. I don't know what the Cardinals are actually doing. At quarterback, Rams, Packers. Jeremiah had mentioned Matthew Stafford's injury. I'm not sure about Matthew Stafford. I'm going to have to look that up. Right now, I'm picking the Rams.
But is Stafford out?
No, I'm going to have to check that because right now I have the Rams over the Packers. I don't know if Stafford being out even changes that, though, to be honest.
Maybe it was our conversation the other day, but I've lost a lot of love for the Packers. I went pretty heavy on the Rams today with or without Stafford.
Yeah, I think I am too. I got the Patriots over the Commanders. Commanders trading two of their best defensive players this week. I just don't think they're going to show up.
According to Adam Schefter, Waddle has a knee injury and is questionable to return.
He looked pretty good on the sideline. Guess what I'm picking in the Saints-Bears game? Wow, 94% of people are picking the Saints.
I remember the original Sports Center anchors that were there. Like Keith Olbermann was so funny when he was on Sports Center, but he was my favorite anytime they were talking about injuries, where he'd be like, Jalen Waddle's day-to-day, aren't we all?
Yeah. Right. You remember when Keith Olbermann was funny and not a piece of shit?
Yeah, no, I do. And, and then Craig Kilborn, like there were funny, entertaining anchors on ESPN that just turned out to be enormous douchebags. Oberman really took the cake, though. I mean, he took a hard left.
Yeah, I wonder if he has brain damage of some kind.
Something went like it's like Al Franken. Just
by the way, Ravens Seahawks underrated. We were talking about heavyweight battles this week. That's one.
Yeah, there's Mostert getting to the outside. Well, Jeff Wilson's back healthy, but he really hadn't been carrying the ball that much. But I mean, if he gets in and gets into a rhythm, he's almost interchangeable. Waddle's back out. Yeah, he looks fine.
Beautiful. Got the Bucks Texans. That's an underrated game.
I don't see how the Texans win that.
I've got the Bucks right now, but I really hope the Texans win. Colts Panthers. Who cares? I'm picking the Colts.
Second for ahead of schedule. This is where you take a shot. They're reversing it back to Waddle. That knee looks all right to me.
He
was a little wobbly.
It was a little, but I don't know if that was just waiting to read his ball. Yeah, he looks a little gimpy.
Yeah. God, somebody as fast as Tyreek, it's just, what do you do? Like, you have to. Everybody has to over pursue.
You have to sell out. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to.
Raiders Giants. I might have to change. I have the Raiders.
Hey, what's this? Oh, they didn't show it. Tua got a little crack back there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Look at it, Ingold. Get away. All right.
You're ahead of me.
There's a flag.
That's got to be defensive holding, I would think.
You would think. But that was one of those where it's, again, the play breaks down, like I was talking about early on, how Mahomes and Kelsey have that chemistry where you see Tua and Tyreek are starting to develop it. I mean, that play completely shut down, but Tyreek found his way to come back and get open.
Hey, if any Giants fans are watching, who's playing quarterback for y'all today? I'm really in my head about this Giants-Raiders pick. The Raiders fired everyone. I think the Raiders are a better team, but
but you know what happens? It's not like McDaniels was a beloved guy, and you realize. I mean, I've seen that happen with Miami a lot. Right, I've seen that happen in the NFL with Dolphins interim coaches a lot. They come out and play inspired football the next week. And it's not like they got to play that inspired to beat the Giants.
Yeah, I think I'll stick with the Raiders. I'm so far ahead. I can go with my gut on some of these games. Just keep going to that guy. Feed Tyreek. Eagles, Cowboys. I hate myself. I'm picking the Eagles. I hate the Cowboys, though, in fairness, too. So
The NFC East gets weird, though, man. You just never really know. I'm not a believer in Dak. Oh, geez, Isaac, if you're still watching, we're getting into the danger zone. Most teams start counting points here.
by the way, I got a next commercial break.
Oh,
Sunday and Monday night. Oh, Jesus.
This is the kind of shit that concerns me with Tua over and over, though. He had made his mind up that he was throwing to Cedric Wilson on that before this play was done. Yeah, he looked to Tyreek, but it was solely to pull them away because he came right back and threw that ball, regardless of what was there.
I don't watch every Dolphins game like yourself, but does he put his receivers at risk a little more than most quarterbacks? Because I feel like he does in general.
It's normally on plays just like that, Jeff, where a normal quarterback would look at that, see that your receiver is going to be in trouble or it's going to be a dangerous throw, and they would move on through the progression. Tua absolutely goes one track. There was no way in hell on that pass to Cedric Wilson that ball was going to any other player outside of Cedric Wilson.
Yeah.
Tyreek was swinging, and he looked at him, but there was never a thought to throw it.
No,
and
he was
the minute he looked off of him, he let it go.
Waddle's back on the field.
He did look a little gimpy on that little
he did.
Swing out.
I mean, a gimpy Waddle is still fast, but
yeah. 3rd and 9.
He's on my fantasy team. He'll be lucky to get out with his knees intact.
That better be defensive.
I don't see where the flag was thrown. But the Dolphins don't look very happy. A lot of hands on hips, walking backwards.
Illegal shift. I'm surprised we don't get more of those, actually. The more you watch this game, you'll say, there's just so much motion and movement.
Yeah, but you should, you're used to it. You shift all the time.
Yeah. That was a night. Now, 3rd and 15, this is just pure danger zone.
Yeah, and are they, where are they, 40?
45.
Long field goal territory?
No,
not here.
No,
46.
Yeah, not. And again, if you're at the 40, you're not kicking it with Sanders.
I mean, he's got a leg. He just, he'll hit it somewhere.
Okay. Oh, if he'd have got away.
Yeah, I guess there's not much in 3rd and 15 or whatever the hell it was in your playbook.
You could try to get 7 or 8 so you give yourself a chance to go for it. There was a chance on that one.
Which I think that's what they were trying to do. I think they thought this was going to be a 8 to 10 yard.
That was a really nice tackle. Because there's some room in front of
At least we won't have cutaways to you-know-who. I doubt she's in Germany.
You never know. They'll find a way. All right. Earn your worth here, buddy. Okay. I'll take that. That's not bad at all.
No, nice punt. In the back.
All right. I got to get my little man rallied up for his mom. She's on his way, so it'll take me like 5.
All right. I will filibust. Oh. So, yeah, the Sunday night, tonight's game, Bengals-Bills, a repeat of the DeMar Hamlin game. Hopefully this game finishes. I'm picking the Bengals. They're hot, but I like both of those teams. And Monday night's an underrated game. Chargers-Jets. Feel like the Chargers need to win to kind of – right now I'm picking the Chargers. I might change my mind tomorrow. But that game's got a lot of playoff implications. The Chargers can't really afford to lose. All right, we're going to do something fun now. If I can share my screen. Oh, yeah, you people can see that. This Pro Football Reference Immaculate Grid. All right. Let's see here. This is going to be a lot of pressure on me because I usually do this privately. There we go. Oh, 12% of people got that. I try to go for kind of rare people when I can. It's a fun game. So you need to, for those of you who haven't played it, you got to match up the teams or, like the Pro Bowlers. Actually, I need to look at the categories here. Before I put in the Pro Bowlers, I want to make sure I'm not burning one of my I guess that one was a little obvious. I want to make sure I'm not burning my guys who played for both teams. God, I don't know many. I feel like I'm not good with the Giants. Hall of Famer Morton Anderson. Who do I want to go with? The Packers. Pro Bowlers can be tricky because I like to go with old guys, but the Pro Bowl, I don't know what it was. So I think I'll just go safe here. So the Chiefs are pinned back, and they get 8 on first down to Watson, I believe. Dolphins really need to force a punt here.
I've been getting better at these.
You have?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and start throwing guys in here now. You know what? I'm gonna go rare. I feel like Jeff Van Note had to have made a Pro Bowl. There we go. 0.2%.
Oh.
And Pacheco gets the first.
Look, your Pro Bowler in Houston, Deshaun.
I'm not going to Deshaun Watson.
Arian Foster.
Yeah. I'm debating with the Packers, like going with some old guy, but I don't know what the Pro Bowl used to be. Like, I have to imagine Bart Starr made a Pro Bowl.
If there was one, I don't know.
But if there was, that's exactly it. If
I'm
there
a
was
horrible
one.
historian like that. Come pressure. There we go, Long.
Actually,
Christian Wilkins. That's where Mahomes just kills you, dude. God, they were on him.
Pro Bowl must be achieved with the team. Darn it. I was going to say I got a nice rare one, but he didn't make a Pro Bowl with the Packers.
Yeah, you're going next level trying to get rare. I'm just going to
go Bakhtiari. He's had to have made a Pro Bowl, right?
Had to have. Oh, and only 6%.
Yeah. No, you see, I try to get a low rarity score. Now I'm struggling with the Packers.
Oh. There we go.
2 straight plays with a lot of pressure.
Yep, that's Sealer, man. Sealer's a baller. Him in the middle, him and Christian Wilkins make all the difference in the world. Look at that.
Sealer, I hardly knew her.
Look at that stunt. All right, 3rd and 10. Now, this is where you got to finish up here, though. We've been really bad at getting off the field on 3rd downs.
I'll go back to the immaculate grid on a commercial. It's hard for me to watch a football game and try to think of answers.
Thank you. Don't you hate it when you see a ball that's overthrown like that and you just sit and wait? Like I'm waiting on the flag. Always waiting on the flag.
Yeah. The worst thing is it's like a play now is the underthrown ball.
Yeah.
It's like you're giving the offense a bailout because the quarterback nowadays I think intentionally underthrew the ball. The receiver stops to come back to the ball.
All right, so this is decent field position going into the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, they got the punt. I don't know why the Chiefs are playing like with the Dolphins. Like, run the damn football, guys.
Yeah, I mean, Pacheco was going at an average of about 6 a clip.
Yeah. I'm guessing he probably is averaging about that. I guess I could look it up.
Yeah, that's where I was going now. But, I mean, they're running the ball well.
Yeah, but running the ball is boring.
Pacheco, 5 carries for 26 yards, 5.2 yards a carry.
Yeah.
And the last 2 drives, they've thrown the ball, 5 out of 6 plays?
I think 5 out of on the the 3 plays that led to a punt. Yeah. So, pretty quiet offensive game so far. Not a lot of. I mean, the Chiefs had that one drive that they just kind of walked down the field, but outside of that, not a lot of offense going. The Chiefs, though, this year, I feel like the Chiefs' defense has been better than their offense.
So here's the other thing, and I've talked about it a little bit, but this is what's so weird for me. The drive that you just saw Kansas City have to go down and score the touchdown, Miami has very few of those, right? It's a quick strike offense. So in between, you see Miami scores 35 points, and you're like, wow, it's an offensive explosion. But, I mean, that could be 6 plays, right? I mean, there's a lot of 3 and outs. Miami doesn't sustain drives very well, but they're big play offense. So literally you can go 3 and out 3 times and then hit Tyreek on a 70-yarder. So it's a different form of football for me because I'm not used to the lack of a drive or, maintaining clock. It really is. It's just quick strike. So Miami, I feel like a lot of times is just bogged down.
Did you know pregnant women aren't supposed to drink alcohol?
I did.
I was looking for the alcohol percentage on this, and instead I just see the warning.
Yeah, but apparently red wine is okay near the end.
Yeah, that's not sponsored by anything I'm associated with. The thing is, I remember going to a parenting class with my ex when we were expecting our first. And the nurse or doctor, whoever was running it, we watch a video and she's like, here's the reality. You can breastfeed and drink beer, like a couple beers. She's like, you can have a beer or 2. The reason we say no is because somebody says, I can have a couple beers. And then the alcoholics turn that into, I had 3 cases of beer. I don't know why my baby's retarded.
All right, here we go. Ahmed in the backfield.
How many times?
Look at this. That's what I'm saying. Tyreek.
Yeah, they just got to feed him.
Yeah, and keep getting him the ball any way you can. That little sweep right there. Nobody's catching him to the corner.
Highly unlikely.
Yeah. So what do you I mean, not a lot of yards at all for the Dolphins. I mean, only 28 in the air.
By the way, I just thought of someone.
I feel like all 28 of that's been to Tyreek, right? Or not Tyreek, to Jalen.
43% of people got David Carr. Damn it. I'm one away from an immaculate grid.
So it looks like Jeff Wilson's behind Ahmed on the depth chart.
Yeah, has Wilson? I know he hasn't touched the ball yet.
No, he hasn't today. He only got it a couple times. I mean, he ran a couple in Philly, and he ran a couple last week in New England. But I mean, he's looked all right. This is his, knock on wood, it's as healthy as Mostert's been in a decade.
Yeah, you better knock on wood.
Yeah, I know.
That's like saying Teron Armstead hasn't been injured a lot this year.
Yeah. As soon as I said it, he twisted his ankle on the sideline. Oh! Yeah. That was a dime.
Yeah, you'd like to see the receiver come up with that one.
That's a damn good ball. Okay, yeah, let the face mask go. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Boy, that's a good ball.
Tyreek's just short.
Yeah. Jeez. 3rd and 10. Again, trouble.
Boy, it's hard to overthrow Tyreek.
It is. There's Jeff Wilson.
Yeah, on 3rd and 10.
Yeah. And he dropped the ball. That's not a fumble. He never caught that. Never caught it.
What are they calling it live?
No. I mean, I don't blame Kansas City for trying, but he was bobbling that all the way to the ground.
Yeah, no, they called it incomplete.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not got it at all ever.
He was he was looking to see if he could get that first down. Yep. And he forgot the essential component to getting a first down is having the ball in your possession
of the ball.
It's an important component of the act of picking up a first down.
Kansas City's defense isn't this good. I mean, maybe it's a process. But.
Again, I'm I haven't watched every game, and obviously the last week's game, Mahomes had the shit bug, as Alvin Kamara called it. So I get, I get why their defense was a little better than their offense last week. But all right, I think I've got this. I'm not 100% sure I'm right. Okay. I don't know if I'm right. I think Cullen Jenkins played for the Giants and the Packers.
Nice.
There we go. See, there's the most popular. I got David Carr and Andre Johnson, so I did get two of them. I knew Jeff Saturday would be. There we go. 166 is pretty good. Look at my previous grids here. Look, immaculate. That's 4 in a row. 8. This one right here.
I'm not nearly as good.
I got a 49 on this one.
Oof.
Yeah, look at these low numbers. See, I cheat with my USF guys. This was the long snapper in 2002 when the Bucs won the Super Bowl. 0.01. Yeah, good time.
Art Monk.
Oh, yeah.
The posse.
I love it because my son plays it sometimes, and he's like, who the hell is Art Monk? I'm like, well, you got to know who Art Monk is.
Oh, dude. I was I forget who I was talking to about it, but was it you and I talking the other night when I was talking about my son and I throwing a football in the living room, and he caught something and told me that I got mossed? And I'm like, what do you know about moss? And he's like, grows on trees. And I'm like, you have no idea where that saying even comes from, do you? And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, all right, put the ball down. Come on. Like, we had a 10-minute YouTube of Randy Moss's greatest plays and watching my 8-year-old's eyeballs get that big.
So, when I was a kid, you probably knew the game 500, where someone threw the ball, a group of players would jump for it, and, you'd shout out 100, 200, Now, so I coached football, and the kids call that game mossed.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I'm like, okay, and they knew who Randy Moss was.
Yeah, my son's just saying it for no good reason, and I'm like, dude. And then I showed him videos. He was like, wow. I was like, yeah, wow, kind of sucks. That kind of shapes it up. Like, I mean, Randy Moss was just unstoppable at times. Look, Chiefs lining up in shotgun again. I mean, I'll take it.
Yeah, well, they're not afraid to run out of shotgun, but yeah, this is as easy as the Chiefs had it the first possession.
Oh, Christian Wilkins. That dude's a monster.
Yeah, guard your testicles around him.
Oh yeah, no, he ain't afraid to take anything out. But Christian Wilkins, dude, he's a beast. I thought he was going to kill a couple of the offensive players last year because they scored touchdowns. He'd come running out and jump up into their arms. Like, yo, bro, you remember you're like 340, right? It's a 180-pound wide receiver that you just splashed.
I forgot Wes Welker. Is he your receivers coach?
Yep, wide receivers coach. All right.
His hairline hasn't aged well.
Xavier playing well. You notice they haven't thrown a ball to Ramsey's side.
No.
They've been trying to go at X.
Not a one.
Yeah, I don't. Does Mahomes do that a lot, or is it just this game?
I think they're used to just getting the official. Remember, this team is sponsored by Big Pharma, big banks, and and ugly pop stars.
Right. Because again, I feel like I'm seeing that a whole lot with him, and I don't know. Tua drives me crazy when Tua makes mistakes or does anything else. If anything, he's maybe a little too laid back. But like, I don't see Tua ever throwing his arms up at the officials, even though there's times that he probably should be.
Yeah, Mahomes could be, and look, he's probably so pissed still from last week. That is the worst thing that could have happened to the Dolphins is the Chiefs losing last week.
Yeah, it wasn't.
That's why I picked the Chiefs to win this game. I don't see them losing 2 in a row.
Oh, you know what? I like this though, man. Getting them off schedule again, 3rd and 17.
Yeah, you better get them off the field here.
Right. I refuse to mention the name of the man.
I don't know what man you're talking
We're zoned up. Nope, no, we're not. There we go. Man him up. He's setting up top one-on-one with X.
Oh, well, that's a perfect guy to guard him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, that's where I thought about this. Is like the Dolphins can roll Xavier Howard or Jalen Ramsey.
Howard's lost a step, hasn't he?
Yeah,
but covering Kelsey isn't a.
No, and well, the thing is now they can put him into more zone coverage. I mean, the first part of his career, he was manning up everybody. He's not a guy that can play man on speed on the outside. But now when you've got him and Ramsey both, and you can disguise that coverage with the safeties.
I'm so I'm so low on Jalen Ramsey because last year he was dog shit. I remember the Saints played the Rams last year, and Chris Olave just schooled him, burned him multiple times. It was one of the worst games by a cornerback I've ever seen.
Eli Applebad?
What's that?
Eli Applebad?
Oh, yeah, worse. I mean, it was just he was a liability. And I kind of got the thing. I did this years ago with Marcus Peters. He had a game like that, I think, against Michael Thomas, where he just gave up like 200 yards and just burnt play after play. And I'm like, that guy's washed. Marcus Peters has been starting in the NFL for 7 years since then.
Yeah.
So I think I just write some guys off that I probably shouldn't. I guess you could watch any cornerback in the NFL. Marshawn Lattimore has had a bad game before. Last year against Justin Jefferson, Justin Jefferson took him to school. Lattimore the next week defended like 18 passes. So it's,
Yeah. I mean, and some are just going to be mismatches, right? I mean, and it's going to be schemed up a lot. And I think that's the biggest part is Xavier was getting pretty exposed when we tried to put him in man coverage. Diggs had his way with him a lot last year.
Diggs is so hard to man.
Yeah. Fast wide receivers were really just eating his lunch. But now, again, with Javon Holland, who can cover a lot of ground back there, Deshaun Elliott, and then coming up with in the nickel of Kader Kohu has allowed X to play more into a quarter sort of coverage.
I think I gotta splash some vodka in here because I'm gonna finish this damn bottle.
Yeah, it's gonna be done before half.
I've gone through so much of my orange juice though. All right, I'm gonna go grab my.
Go do it. The Dolphins are getting ready to start this next drive.
My vodka bottle. Let's say this spot of the show is sponsored by the Dads and Drink Show.
Hey.
Yeah, check out the Dads and Drink Show. The Animal Tournament finale is coming to you soonish. That will be our last episode of 2023. 21 episodes will be the total for the Dads and Drink Show.
What an awesome time!
So
what an awesome time!
Make sure
just doing it, having fun, and then having run 21. I'm looking forward to next season and growing on that. So Miami's taking over at the 45. So good field position.
Oh, Isaac, I was waiting for your approval for this. You'll get it, buddy.
Oh, it'll be in there, but it's early on, and we're both almost through a bottle of champagne, so you might want to hold off on.
Well, I was planning on giving the first quarter sponsorship to FL teams, but
see, dude, that's another spot. Like Jalen's got to catch that ball.
I don't know. That's a tough
Bro,
one.
Watch this at the end. Is it?
Yeah, no, he can't get that. That's Tua missing by that much on a deep ball.
That's twice.
He had to turn his body. The throw was out past his arms.
I love that we're taking shots on first down, though. You've got to keep.
Yeah, you should try to score points though at some point. Just an idea. No, Isaac. Jeremiah is definitely like 3 seconds ahead. What the hell was that? That was definitely a forward pass, guys. No, Jeremiah is definitely a few seconds ahead of me, Isaac. I know Jeremiah is looking for his ex-wife out the window.
Yeah, I keep looking.
Do I have time to go run and get vodka?
Oh, yeah, you're good.
All right.
Yeah, that
no
Tua was trying to get rid of it. I guess it was a forward pass. But again, he's looking one way, coming back.
Yeah, I don't think it's grounding.
I mean, but that might be a lateral, dude.
No.
It really might. Look,
he was back at the 33.
Okay, but look, no, he's on the line, and it bounces on the line.
No, he's behind the 35, and that ball hits the 35.
Where's the flag now? Are they going grounding?
That's what they're calling it. I don't agree with that call.
Way.
I do not agree with the call. So, excuse me. There's more of that to come, folks. So, there's a restaurant. What the hell is the name of the restaurant?
Fuck, 3rd and 20.
I'm blanking. It's a local place here. They've got the best brunch. I might be ordering food soon. This might be a Drunk Jeff Eats sponsorship. But they serve vodka, champagne, and orange juice, and they call it a bromosa.
Oh, okay. We have to manly up the mimosa, right, Jeff?
Well, except for they call it a bromosa, which makes it like Jalen Waddle's dance.
All right. Well, Jeff Wilson caught it, and he got 10 back, and now we're just going to kick it away.
Yeah, just try to pin him deep. Yeah. Again, 3rd and 20. There's not many plays in the playbook for that.
Offense is out of sync, though. I mean, it's 3 and out.
Severely. Yeah. Now, and again, I don't think the Dolphins are playing their best. However, the Chiefs' defense is better than advertised, I think. I think, the Antichrist and the face of the league, are the two biggest names in the NFL. So their offense gets all the headlines. But.
And look, I'll give our guy this. I mean, that's the 3rd straight punt that he's dropped inside the 20, 2 inside the 10.
Nice punt. I think there's a flag, which is probably going to move him half a distance, I would think. All right, let's see how my bromosa turned out.
That's 3 solid punts.
It's definitely less sweet than I like it. I don't like sweet.
Yeah?
Not a sweets guy.
I usually don't like sweet drinks. I can't do that unless I'm at the beach.
I kind of feel like I'm at the beach.
You're always at the beach.
That's true.
That is half the distance. So it looks like Kansas City's going to be starting at the 5.
Yeah, not good field position for an offense that hasn't gotten moving. By the way, this shirt, I was able to wear this shirt, which is severely stained from me not knowing how to do laundry like a grown up. But this shirt is part of my. It was my wardrobe for a day in Women Want Everything.
Oh yeah,
takes a lot of balls to golf the way I do. Yeah.
I like that actually.
No, I was 95% of the clothing in Women Want Everything was my own.
Oh, okay.
Which I don't know if that's a good thing or not, considering. But it was nice to be like, oh, I've got clothes that fit this character. I'm good.
Yeah. But I mean, I kind of thought part of the perks of a movie would be wardrobe. Like, do you get to keep the wardrobe?
They got a couple things.
Like,
but if you have the wardrobe, I'm more comfortable. My thing is, I'm 6'2", I'm fat. I prefer to not show up and hope that clothes fit me.
I get you.
Like there was a scene in the movie, I'm not going to spoil it, but they had to buy me shorts. And I was so nervous because shorts, like I can fit in 38s, but I also have had like 42s that don't fit me.
Yeah.
Because they're all cut so differently. And a lot of it's like they won't get over my thighs kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, oh my God, if these shorts don't fit me, the whole movie's going to be off schedule because it's
I'll be back for just a sec.
I'll filibust.
All right.
All right, we'll get Jeremiah. One of the dads is off screen. This has been not as good of a football game as I expected. I do want to. I want to get some. I think at some point soon here, I'm going to get brunch. So I might be pulling up Uber Eats. Any suggestions for brunch? Are welcome. There's this. I'm not going to do this because it would be bad for TV. But for St. Petersburg people, there's this place on Uber Eats called Old Northeast Rally, which I'm like, I thought Rally was maybe a gas station, but they have these $4.99 and they're BOGO. They've been BOGO the whole time. $4.99 for these taco meat nachos. And it's just a bunch of chips, cheese, and beef, man, and it is good. And a lot of cheese and beef, which is obviously a big plus. $4.99, and it's BOGO. So the only downside is you have to be really drunk to eat the leftovers because soggy, soft chips are not appetizing. All right, Chiefs have 2nd and 8 here from their own 6.5, and Pacheco I thought maybe a face mask, but he got out to the 10. I'm scrolling through Uber Eats as I'm doing this. Oh, they got the classic cheesesteak back at Arby's and fried mac and cheese bites, which I believe is a new item. I don't know that that's really a brunch food, but we may get some Drunk Jeff Eats action going probably a little later because I've only had a little vodka and a bottle of bubbly that is not very alcoholic. Oh, nice catch by Rice. First down, Chiefs. I assume everyone watching this probably has the football game on. Thus, we're not doing play-by-play. But big first down for the Chiefs to get out of their own shadow, their own goalpost.
Damn you, Rashid Rice.
Yeah, that's a nice catch.
It was.
Isn't that the white supremacy signal that Mahomes is doing?
Yeah, I think it was, right? Let's just put that into the air. That's what it is.
You're in Germany. You got to be careful with these things.
My good luck charm's rolling out. Actually, he's not. He pulls against the Dolphins just to spite me.
It's 7-0. He hasn't been very good luck.
Saints, though.
Right. He does pull for the Saints, though, Jeff, just so you know.
Good. Smart kid.
Because he knows that you and my buddy Dustin are Saints fans. So he'll pull for you. But anytime we're picking games, it's always against the Dolphins. And he's like, what?
You know, my mom was a big Dolphins fan when I was a kid. And every Dolphins game was on TV locally in Tampa Bay. And I loved my mother to death, but I hated the Dolphins because Dan Marino was such a prick.
Oh, he was such a
I hated how he would just go nuts on his receivers. He would just go nuts, and it bothered me as like a 6-year-old watching football. So I secretly sat there and rooted against the Dolphins every because I thought Dan Marino was such a dick.
Look, I'm a big Dan Marino fan, but I'm also a Dan Marino realist. Like the number of stories that I heard about how he handled himself in and around Miami during his time there was he's an absolute prick. Like the stories of like going into a gas station and like pumping gas outside and like 4 people in line in front of him and him just tossing the $20 bill over top of them and walking back out. Like just like asshole stories that are probably some part of urban legend, but you could see it happening.
Yeah, it's tough. It's the Tiger Woods dilemma.
Yeah.
I've had this conversation a bunch where people are like, what an asshole. He cheated on his wife. He was banging all these women. I'm like, you don't know what it's like.
Right.
Like, it's easy for someone who, like, has to struggle to get laid to be like, oh, what a dick. How would you cheat on your model wife?
An offensive hold. He had so much time. Defense, my ass.
Yeah, where the flag was thrown, I knew that was on the secondary.
Mahomes had how long back there? No, I had that argument with the Tiger thing too, where I'm like, you understand? They're like, but it was like 10 women. I'm like, you understand? That is still a very small percentage of the number of women who have thrown themselves at Tiger.
Yeah.
He said yes.
He literally could not walk down the street without 20 women trying to fuck him.
Right. Like the guy had like a 95% turn away rate. 98%.
It's probably 99.9.
Right. And you're like, oh,
yeah, no. And look, I've never cheated in a relationship, and I don't endorse anyone doing it. But it's also like this guy got famous at
You're about to see me get really pissed off at Patrick Mahomes and go out with this dude.
That looked like a forearm to the helmet to me.
No, but he ducked it. He didn't get hit. He threw his head back when he slid down and then gets up talking about what the guy was going to do to him. Like, Mahomes is being the whiniest bitch I've ever seen in the NFL today, dude. And
I'm surprised they didn't call that a penalty. And they're not showing the replay to see if he made contact. But that was a stupid play to throw your forearm.
He was coming down with the forearm for the hit, but he didn't touch
it. Why are you throwing your forearm at the star quarterback's helmet? That's stupid. That's undisciplined.
Probably for one of those play for what do you pay for performance fools.
Jeremiah, you're quickly going to make me start rooting for the Chiefs. I don't know why we don't get a replay on that.
Yeah, he didn't touch him though.
My guess is I do think he ducked it, but and I agree. If you don't get hit, you should. But it was also a really stupid play to do that. That's going to be called if you make contact.
Horribly undisciplined.
Yeah, he's lucky he ducked it.
Did pull his head back, right?
Yeah, because that's clear as day. Always going to be a 15-yard penalty. There's no gray area there. That's just undisciplined.
An open palm to the head is getting you 15. I mean, the forearm.
Yeah, but he went forearm to that was lucky that Mahomes ducked it.
It was. Still don't mean I can't call him a bitch for getting up whining about what didn't
happen.
Yeah.
You don't complain when the guy misses you.
Hey, the guy tried to tackle me in high, but he didn't get there and hit me, but he wanted to.
Missed tackles on a tiny little Kadarius Toney.
That's bad.
He's had a rough career.
It started with so much promise. And I think he's still
young.
Talented.
And you know what? We say this, he won a Super Bowl. He scored a touchdown, I think, in the Super Bowl. It's not like that's what my buddy MVS, USF Bull, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, people are like, oh, he's overrated. I'm like, he was a 5th-round pick. He's probably got 3,000 yards receiving in his, 6th year. He's won a Super Bowl. I think he's doing okay for himself.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things where it's so easy when you're armchair quarterbacking it or whatever, right? You're watching the NBA and you see the 7th guy off the bench and you're like, oh, God, this guy's awful. Like, no, he's actually one of the best 1% of basketball players in the entire world.
He's one of the top 100 basketball players on the planet Earth.
On the planet Earth. But, yeah, he's only scoring 2 points.
Well, my thing is, like, a 5th-round pick, just to stay in the league, sign a second contract is impressive.
Yep.
It's Okay.
Mahomes again. Every time there's a whistle, all he does is point to the other side. I don't watch Kansas City play, so please somebody tell me in the comments or something.
Well, I'm not sure what he's possibly complaining about on that, because Donovan Smith clearly false started.
Right, he's pointing at the defensive lineman. Like, is it an anomaly or is it not? But like today, Patrick Mahomes is the whiniest bitch I've ever seen in the NFL. He's still pointing. Just shut up and play, dude.
Well, I don't think that last point was about the flag.
I don't know.
Maybe it is. He's talking to the ref about something.
Yeah.
There has to be something there. I'm not sure what. Because, again, that's not a play you complain about.
You wouldn't think. That's what
it was very clearly a false start. That was not really unless the defense was calling out a snap count, which is a penalty. But I don't think anyone's that stupid to do that anymore.
Come on. That might be offensive. I don't know. It was thrown from the back, Judge, but it was
a weird timing and where it was thrown.
And where it was. Jalen Phillips took an awful angle on that too. Like, how are you going to try to run and then just go meet him on a flat line? Like, you already had the angle.
This is part of the reason I respect the hell out of Pat Mahomes. If he wanted to, he could probably run for 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
He doesn't, because he's a quarterback. That's you hear me, Justin Fields?
Offsetting. Jalen Phillips pops up every now and then. I mean, he's a super freak of an athlete, but just takes bad angles like that.
To me, from an outsider, Jalen Phillips is a guy who I usually see on the bad end of a highlight.
Yeah,
I don't recall seeing any monster highlight that Jalen Phillips has had. I recall saying, "Ooh, number 15, what was he doing on that play?"
We keep hearing about potential, but that shit only goes so far.
Yeah. Potential gets really worn out really quick with me.
More.
Oof, you can't feel like you can't zone this team. Like Mahomes is too good to play zone against.
You have to get pressure too. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, look, it's the cleanest pocket you're ever going to see.
Yeah, the good news here.
The Dolphins 3 wide every time, and we're still in 3-4. We have other DBs.
I feel like the Dolphins are down 14 points every game, and then they snap their fingers and they are winning all of a sudden.
It is nice that they can quick turnaround. I'd love to see us hold them to a field goal here. Try to get on the board before half. There goes Mahomes.
Yeah, just all day. Only rushing 3.
There's no pressure. You got Chubb coming off, but he's not getting anything. So if you're not going to get the pressure again,
well, you're not going to get pressure when you rush 3. Like,
let's nickel this thing, dude.
You're trying to bait Mahomes into throwing into 8-man coverage, which he has the arm strength to do it, but he's not going to make it. I'm maybe reverse jinxing him here. He's not going to make a stupid mistake.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. I'm starting to get hungry, Jeremiah. I have Uber Eats open.
There you go. David Long Jr. has played well this year. He got Pacheco pretty solid on that one. Got a little bit of a limp getting up. This is a big play right here. You really can't even give up a couple yards because, I mean, Andy Reid and these guys will go for it.
They'll go for it, yeah.
Yeah, you've got to hold them.
I do like the NFL's evolved where most teams do not kick on 4th and short anymore.
Yeah.
You don't win games.
Oh, boy, you don't win games like that either. Good Lord, he didn't even get touched.
Oh, my goodness.
McKinnon. Not even close. Didn't even touch him.
Yeah.
Is the flag going to be excessive celebration?
I'm not sure. It sure seemed late.
It sure did.
Somebody maybe did something after the play. Touchdown's definitely going to count.
Okay. Now I'm splitting hairs. but that flag was thrown way late. Like,
well, they put the graphic up late.
But that's the hold they called. No, like the guy had already caught the ball and was moving the other direction. Like,
yeah, it was probably.
Yeah, probably just didn't need to throw that flag, is all I'm saying. I mean, good on you for doing your job, quote unquote. But I mean, once the touchdown was
I guess you can't do this. I had this debate the other day when I'm like, why do they even bother with these flags that just pick it up and move on?
Right, yeah, it doesn't matter.
But I guess you can't do that because then you talk about collusion and all that stuff. Yeah. You're throwing flags and then picking them up because it didn't affect the play. Yeah,
I'm going to watch.
And they don't announce why they threw the flag. Then it looks pretty suspicious.
I'm going to watch when and where the flag was thrown.
Yeah, no.
He was already at the 10 when the flag went down. But, oh, man.
I know nobody accounted for McKinnon, which is kind of silly.
Yeah. That's a hell of a long drive. That's the kind of stuff that Miami doesn't do.
95 yards, 8 minutes and 28 seconds.
That's the stuff that Miami doesn't do. And you got to be able to do that. Philly does it. Philly can sustain a drive and eat the clock. Miami can very well score in 10 seconds, right? But a 95-yard drive for 8 minutes is a very, very rare thing.
I feel like I wish I could watch like the overhead, like the coach's film. I feel like the Chiefs have to be playing real deep zone, coverage, like just
something.
Don't let them beat us deep, make them beat us underneath, because the Dolphins have.
Well, they missed 2 shots, right? I mean,
yeah, but that's what happens when you play that deep zone. Is you can have a shot play, but it's a low percentage. It's got to be perfect. And I don't know that the Dolphins are equipped to play with a. I mean, there are defenses you can play that just eliminates the deep passing. And I don't know that the Dolphins are really equipped to play against that kind of defense.
All right. This is where I do love Ahmed. Ahmed runs hard, too. At the end, like, he's hard to bring down.
Well, the key to the Dolphins, I mean, it's about to be the 2-minute warning, so, not a lot of time left. But in the second half, they need to remember running the football is a thing you can do.
Yeah, I mean, I think here, the 2-for-1 possession's nice. We're getting the ball coming out in the second half. You got to get on the board.
Is it me, or does – nice play there by Waddle. Is it me, or does McDaniel, when the stakes seem higher, just forget to run the football?
He does. And
like in the normal 1 o'clock game against Denver or whoever, he's fine running the ball 30, 40 times. But in the big showcase game that everyone's watching across the country, I feel like he just forgets running is even a thing, and he needs to show off how smart he is.
I think that's part of it, but a lot of it is that the Dolphins end up getting behind in those games. And so it's not even so much in the showcase game part, but McDaniel, I don't think realizes again how quickly the Dolphins can score. And again, he gets back into that we've got to get caught up mode.
We're going to disagree on this, but I don't like McDaniel as a head coach.
I do love him.
I think he's a bumbling idiot. Speaking of no, I'm kidding. It's a 2-minute warning, and this broadcast is sponsored by FL Teams. FLTeams.com is a top Florida sports source dedicated to providing professional and college sports coverage for the state of Florida. Make sure you go to FLTeams.com and follow on all the socials. There's my spiel. I got a USF show coming out Monday. I haven't recorded it yet, so.
The frustrating yet positive thing, when Tua throws an interception, 90% of the time, the next drive he comes back, he goes lights out. Also, at the end of the halves, end of game, when the offense starts getting into a different rhythm. So there's points and spots in a game that I do think Tua's a clutch quarterback. When he's in those situations, he comes through. So, I mean, that ball to Waddle that he just threw out there was probably one of the best balls he's thrown. I still can't get a feel, and pay attention to it as we go through the second half, Jeff, of how much of these throws that Tua is making are reads and how many are pre-designed. Because I feel like he's throwing the ball so quickly that he can't be actually reading the play.
Yeah. Well, it's a difference between a great quarterback and a system quarterback. I mean,
right. And so I have trouble with that. It's like either Tua is making lightning fast reads or he's just throwing where it's supposed to go. And when it gets blown up on where it's supposed to go, he still just throws where it's supposed to go.
Well, and I think the difference with a great coach, I think Sean Payton's a great coach. I think Drew Brees was a great quarterback who could succeed in anyone's system. I think Payton had some growing pains, and he's had it this year with Russell Wilson, who's no longer a very good quarterback. Nice play there to Tyreek.
Yep.
But he is adjusted his play calling and his system so that Russell Wilson's having a pretty good year.
Yeah, it's not bad.
He's not that skilled anymore. He can't do it on his own, but a great coach can cater the system to the quarterback he has.
I think McDaniel's done that well.
Well, I don't.
Really?
I think he's done it with Tua. I think when Tua went down, the team was dog shit because he didn't adjust to his new,
right, because I think
Bridgewater Thompson.
He has absolutely designed this team to play to Tua's strength.
Right. Well, again, what happens when Tua gets his next concussion and doesn't play football?
Right. No, what happens is you struggle to move the ball at all, like we did with Bridgewater and Skylar Thompson. But it's like this whole team has been designed solely to fit what Tua does well.
I get it. I'm curious if he can adjust to another quarterback, which is what makes a coach great, is my thing. It's, an offensive coach. You need to be able to. And he was the run game coordinator in San Francisco, which is puzzling to me. Again, I always say why he forgets that running is a thing. I know right now we're not going to see any runs, most likely, unless it's a draw play to try to catch him napping.
I'll tell you, the Dolphins will. The Dolphins will absolutely cross you. It's like death by 1,000 cuts. That 10-yard cross with Hill and Waddle, it's just almost unbeatable. If Tua's on time, if he's clean and they get you on that cut at 10 yards, you really don't have a lot you can do with it.
That was whoa, no. Oh, Jesus.
That was a bad turn of events, my friends.
The way Tyreek acted, it seems like he thought he caught it. And we'll see. Hopefully he dropped it.
They'll have to review it, right?
That was a poor play call, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what the.
No, they scored on it last week. They tried to get Tyreek out there with a little wide receiver screen. It's not good.
The receiver
Does he ever have it?
Did not block.
I don't know if he ever had it, man.
They got to show earlier on the replay. Yeah, we don't need to see the return. That was all legal, and yeah, it was a very clear lateral. Got to see the catch part of this. I feel like the replays have really been shitty in this game. They
haven't
don't
been
show
very
anything
good at
you
all.
want to see.
So here we go.
This is a bad broadcast. Yeah.
He never made a football move.
He
never made a football move.
That's a lot of time where he had possession of the ball, I think.
Look, bang, and now the ball's already at his
No, but look, he's got the ball here while he's being hit.
Okay, so then forward
the ball's
progress.
That's 2 seconds of the ball not.
There's a million arguments. Forward progress.
They're not gonna change this. Yeah, there's no way. So the Chiefs are going to take a 21-0 lead into halftime. That was a unfortunate turn of events. I guess I shouldn't say they'll take it into halftime. If there's any team that can throw up, get get into field goal range at the very least. Yeah, I actually agree with the call on the field. That's a catch fumble.
But
He has
now. There's no football move being made from the time he caught.
He has no. I disagree. You're wrong.
It doesn't matter.
You're being a homer.
It's already done.
No, that's a catch fumble. That's you're watching it in slow motion. That was a long time to possess the football and to be moving your feet sideways with the ball in your possession.
Well, moving your feet backwards, and I think that's where that other half of
but he wasn't wrapped up. It was he was moving sideways, like he didn't give himself up there. It wasn't like he was being wrapped and driven. You would have been pissed if they blew the whistle for forward progress and he snuck out of that tackle. Which he probably would have done. He just dropped the ball in the process.
Fuck.
Yeah, I don't like this play call at all. I just don't.
Oh, it's a missed block, right?
It's a missed block, but you've been burning them on the seams. Just two plays in a row. They got Waddle and Hill.
Smythe.
You got 25 yards on seam routes, and then you're doing little cutesy behind the line of scrimmage stuff to a midget.
I mean, you gotta score now before the half. I mean, there's just no two ways about this.
If they can get 3 here, again, they do get the ball to start the second half. So if they can even get 3 here, that's big.
Something.
I assume they're calling a timeout.
Yeah. God, man. That's about the worst thing that could happen to end the first half. You get your first drive that you're actually moving the ball, and you compound a bad play call with a fumble, and then some bullshit lateral, and they return it. Like that's just it's everything.
I'm curious. I'd love to see the coach's film on that one too, because I feel like the Dolphins didn't really give much chase to that.
Not a ton. I saw Cedric Wilson trying to make a run there at the end, but.
Yeah, it seemed like they should have had more bodies flying to,
coming back to the ball. I mean,
well, yeah, you make a tackle, that's a huge play. You
right.
Even if you tackle them inside the 20, there's 30 seconds left.
Yeah, you can hold to a field goal.
You hold them to a field goal. Yeah, I don't know. Oof.
Tua's been high all day.
I'm telling you, it's this coverage they're running. I don't know if it's cover 2, probably, but they're not letting him go deep, and he's not.
You got to take advantage of it. The last drive, they were taking advantage of it underneath, right?
Well, the seam routes, deep middle is kind of the place.
Look, you've got only one safety over top right here.
Well, we'll see with what they drop back into, but see, they drop 2 deep safeties again, and it just forces them to play underneath. And Tua is not
adjusting at all.
No,
at all.
No, I mean here's the bad part to this. Snead's leaving the game with injury.
I think they had him in concussion protocol.
Oh. The bad part is I feel like this is a blueprint to shut down the Dolphins' defense.
Well, but New England did this, right? And they figured it out. They just started attacking the edges. The one thing that this Dolphins team has given me that in my Dolphin fandom I haven't had much of is they do adjust well. They make adjustments at the half. And
they're going to have to adjust quite a bit to come back from 21 points.
But, I mean, defensively, they actually played pretty well. Defensively, they played pretty well. I mean, they
that 95-yard drive was not.
That one wasn't good. Oh,
I would agree. Oh, did he hit the scoreboard on this?
Yeah.
I think they just you have to play through, right?
They're re-kicking.
They're re-kicking? Well, how was he supposed to avoid the scoreboard? He's going to kick at the same place.
Right.
I'm used to watching baseball games at Tropicana Field where like catwalks are like strategy. It's like,
right.
If you hit this catwalk, you run. The ball's in play. Hardman had a huge muff last week.
Could use one here. See, this is the other thing. When the Dolphins get behind, the other thing that their defense tries to do, which ends up being counterproductive, is they try to get opportunistic. Like, watch, in the start of the third quarter, they're going to be trying to punch every ball out. They're going to be trying to create a turnover, which I get.
They've already had tackling problems.
Exactly. So you're already having tackling problems, and now they're going to start trying to tackle the ball and punch it free, and you end up just compounding it.
All right. Well, it's halftime.
That was a really bad end to the first half, my friend.
That was. You could feel the air go out of the room.
Yeah, I felt
for you. I don't give it. I'm just gaining another game for you, on you in picks.
That's.
So Jeremiah, what should I get for my brunch here, dude?
Well, you've already got your bromosa, so you don't need that. I'm on Uber Eats. I'm not a sponsor. I'm a French toast bacon guy.
Well, so I'm debating. Drunk Jeff Eats. I try to do national chains because no one but like maybe I'll do a local place. I don't know. Or should I just shop the deals?
Shop the deals. While you shop the deals, I'm going to refill this, go outside and yell at the sky for a few minutes. And, God, dude.
Well, the second half's going to be a lot more jokes and a lot less football, I'm guessing. Sorry, Jeremiah.
I feel like that did it right there. Like, literally. That.
Well, my thing is this with the Dolphins. What have I said to you? They've played 2 games against good teams, and they've gotten their ass kicked.
And even, down 14-0, I didn't feel that bad about it because the defense was playing well, and I know the offense can strike.
21 to a lot against Patrick Mahomes.
Well, here's the other part, is I wasn't going to say anything about it, but screw it now. Why does it really matter? But in that first half, Travis Kelce, 2 catches for 7 yards.
Yeah.
We've negated Kelce.
Yeah.
No Kelce.
Yeah, and Mahomes is still 14 of 19 for 147 and 2 tutties.
And we're down 21. If you take Kelce out of the game, you figure you have a legitimate opportunity.
No, he's spread the wealth, man.
Right. Now that I said that, Kelsey's going to go off for $150 in the second half.
No, and Pacheco, 41 yards, 10 carries. Good, not out of this world crazy. The Dolphins only ran the ball 6 times, and one of them was that reverse to the leading rusher in the game, Jalen Waddle.
11 for 18.
89 yards on 18
3
attempts.
carries for Mostert.
89 yards and 18 attempts is not a good average.
And 5.5 minutes more possession time for Kansas City. So 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. I don't think the Dolphins have converted a third down, have they?
Goodness. I couldn't think of
one. 0 for 5. 0 for 5 on third. It's been 3 and outs, dude. 3 and out, 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 3 and out. I wouldn't have thought the offense was who was going to struggle in this game. I'd have never.
Yeah. We'll see. Still got a half of football to go.
Yep. All right, work on your brunch menu. I'm going to mute this up for a minute, get a refill, hit the John, come back in enough time to hopefully – got to score first drive out. Got to.
Yeah. All right. Jeremiah's not a happy camper. I can't say I blame him. No, I will never live broadcast a Saints game because I say horrible things. I feel like I should get Arby's. You know, I'll make it a Drunk Jeff Eats, live Drunk Jeff Eats. And maybe I will set up to film it also. So we're going to get the classic cheesesteak. We're going to get the fried mac and cheese bites. And that puts me $6.82 away from saving $4. So, of course, I'm going to... classic beef and cheddar is $6.49. Double beef and cheddar, $8.49. There we go. Sandwich only. They run a promotion. Spend $20, save $4. So you buy an $8 sandwich to save $4, and then you get delivery fees of $5.04. No, delivery fee $49, taxes and other fees $5.04. All right. And I also always struggle with this. What do you tip on a delivery from a place that's literally walking distance from my house? I'm just not going to walk there. They automate it to 16%, which I feel like is fair. I've done some Uber Eats driving. You know, 5 minutes of driving for almost $5. I feel like that's generous. Yeah. I'm not rich. We'll go with that. All right. Arby's it is. And I think I'm going to go weird here. I'm going to estimated arrival 11:20. See, it's 11:08. You see how close this place is to my house? I'm going to set up my tripod. I'm going to record a Drunk Jeff Eats while we're live broadcasting this game. Because why the hell not? I should see if Jeremiah is back. He is not. Adding vodka has made this little bottle of bubbly last a little longer. This $4.99. It's not champagne because it's not from the region in Spain or France or whatever the fuck. I don't know. Cheers to everyone who's drinking before noon. In fairness, like your body clock right now, if you're in America, is afternoon. We got an extra hour. I was up late because I didn't start drinking until very late because my son had a birthday party last night. Laser tag. 3 hours of laser tag with a bunch of 10 and 11-year-old kids. There's also a wedding party there. See, I need to talk to Jeremiah about this. I need a person to bounce off of with this. So I'll get into laser tag more with Jeremiah because Lord knows this game's about to get, maybe he is out of hand already. Saints Bears coming up at 1 o'clock. I'm not broadcasting during that game. But I am pulling up my fantasy football roster to make last-minute checks here. I have Jalen Waddle. My opponent has Kansas City's defense. Jesus Christ. I'm getting slaughtered thanks to Kansas City's touchdown. I forgot about that. I would have been screaming at the TV. Definitely projected to lose. I got, let's see, Herbert going tomorrow, Jacobs going later. Running back 2, I've got ETN on a bye week. And Nick Chubb, who was my second round draft pick, out for the year. So I've got Jerome Ford or Brian Robinson. Going with Ford, I think. Waddle, D-Hop. Yeesh. Dalton Kincaid. I got Laporta, but he's on a bye week. So I got 2 rookie tight ends. Adam Thielen in my flex. He was a late pickup in free agency. Ravens D and Dicker the Kicker. Yeah, my big call was going with Hopkins over Jordan Addison, which we'll see if it was right. Hopkins got doubled the whole second half, didn't get a catch in the second half of that game. All right, I'm going to lose to my daughter twice in fantasy football. My daughter knows so much about fantasy football. I was telling her to change her lineup because she had a bye week thing. So I sent her a text last Thursday while I was at my son's baseball game, and I said, hey, quickly change out Rashad White, for Pollard, Tony Pollard, ASAP. So quickly change out White for Pollard ASAP. And her response was, the laundry? So that's how much she knows about fantasy, and she's about to sweep me this year.
What, your ex?
No, my daughter. My daughter, I sent her a text because she doesn't know what she's doing. A couple weeks ago, I said, hey, quickly switch out White for Pollard ASAP. And her response was, you mean the laundry?
Yo, so in Delaware, we have legal sports gambling. Not that you can't do it everywhere online, but we can go do parlays at the gas station or wherever. So I let my son pick a super teaser every weekend because he pays no attention to lines and or teams. But I figure with a super tease, I'll let him pick 8 teams. I'll get 10-1 and throw a 5 spot on it. He hit 2 last year. But, you know, he's just the contrarian. Somehow he's become a Charger fan, Jeff. I didn't even know how this happened.
My son likes the Chargers.
I don't know. I mean, dude, the uniforms are cool.
I think that's a lot of it, and I think they don't have any fans.
Yeah.
So I think that, like, why does everyone hate the Cowboys? It's because their fans are pieces of garbage, and their owner and the media and all. Why do people hate the Eagles? Because Philadelphia is basically the herpes of America. It's the shittiest place on the planet. I would love if you know, there was an attack on Philadelphia. Like if they did an Avengers movie where instead of Loki attacking New York, they attack Philadelphia, I'd be rooting for the bad guy hard.
So you're saying, I mean, today in Philly, Cowboys, Eagles, if Lincoln Financial imploded, it wouldn't really hurt you.
Well,
it fell on itself. I mean,
I don't want that. I don't want to.
I'm just saying, you know. Yeah.
I would just like the people of Philadelphia to. Never mind.
Right. So,
by the way, speaking of, I ordered Arby's.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
And Philly cheese. Oh, it's already 1 minute away. That's how close it is to my house. I ordered it, and it's going to be delivered during a 12-minute halftime.
Look, only gave up 200 yards of offense in the first half. Unbelievable. 28 yards rushing. So I'm going to break my own habit here. I'm going to go superstitious, and I'm going to switch out Dolphin hats for the second half and see if we can't turn this momentum around.
Jeremiah, I'm going to by the way, my daughter has the Chiefs defense, so that touchdown really fucked me.
Yeah, that's not good.
I'm going to set up my tripod real quick, so I'll disappear for just a second because I'm going to record. This is going to be like meta. I'm going to record a Drunk Jeff Eats while we're live broadcasting.
Love it.
So I'll disappear for just a second.
Yep. Meanwhile, I'm going to watch how they break down that the Chiefs defense is just absolutely destroying Miami. Haven't been able to get the edge much. But then again, I mean, I felt like Mostert's last couple of runs were decent. And, you know, we're just not building off that.
No, nobody's watching for football at this point, Jeremiah. This game sucks.
It's getting ready to get better. It's getting ready to be better.
So last night, my son's birthday party.
Oh.
3 hours of laser tag.
Oh.
It was the best birthday party I've ever been to.
That's fantastic.
Except for there no booze.
Yeah.
But There was so at one point, my son and his friends and me and another grown up, we're splitting teams and instead of just a red and a green team, there was also a blue team. There was a wedding party there, women.
Oh,
and I'm like, ooh, wedding party, and then I'm like, wait a second, they're at a goddamn laser tag place that doesn't serve booze. Nah. And I was right. They actually won that game. The wedding party did.
All right, let me switch this hat. We're going backwards. Dolphins hat to get the mojo going.
Jeremiah.
I got it.
Because the hat's going to make a difference. My Uber Eats delivery driver drove past my house and is now coming back. So that's something. I give very clear. I give very clear Uber Eats directions, and when they drive past my house, I get angry.
They should know you. You should be VIP at this point.
I feel like I am. All right, I believe he is dropping off my food. So shortly, I'll be talking to this camera off screen.
Ahmed, like,
for Drunk Jeff Eats.
Why no Mostert? I mean, I felt like his last couple of runs were actually decent.
Well, I
okay, here we go again. There comes Mostert. There comes Mostert. There we go. All right, he was on the field. They just had him out wide. Okay, well, look, we started
like that wasn't called a hold.
Nah, there comes the flag. Fuck.
That was definitely a hold.
Yep. God dang it. Started off running the ball.
Yeah, well, I don't know what to do at this point. I mean, you're down 21. You just got to score a touchdown. That's no matter what.
What's the hold?
On the left
There
edge.
it is. Right there. Yeah.
73, I think.
Yeah, no, 58, Connor Williams.
Oh, no, yep, that's it. Yeah.
He's played really well this year. He's played well.
All right. My food is here.
All right.
Let me I got my phone I'm going to set up for my camera. I should probably get my food at some point off of my front step. Drunk Jeff Eats is ready to go.
Miami Dolphins are ready to score.
Yeah.
Back in this thing. 2nd and 17. If ever there's a time to bust out one, I mean, this is really, we need a big play to swing momentum. I don't have any idea what that was even attempting to be. This is the kind of shit I'm talking about.
Neither did the receiver.
No, that's what I'm talking about, though. This is one of those where, like, that's where I feel like Tua predetermined what was happening.
All right, I'm going to hit record.
Yeah, and Ced Wilson's looking on the inside, and the ball's thrown to the.
All right.
This thing can get out of hand.
This portion
I'm gonna get fucking sloppy drunk. It's gonna get out of hand.
I'm about to take you off the video if you keep talking. Nobody cares. Jeremiah, yes, there we go, Isaac. This is perfect. Can you see the comment on the bottom of the screen? All right, I'm going to hit record. Arby's, folks. We have the meats. All right, welcome to a special Drunk Jeff Eats. This is being live broadcasted and also recorded. So Jeremiah's here with me.
I feel honored to be a guest on Drunk Jeff Eats.
You're the first guest on Drunk Jeff Eats, I believe. Although I guess you're not even on camera. Hopefully they can hear you on my phone. I got the Philly cheesesteak, which is back at Arby's. And I've never seen these. These are the fried mac and cheese bites. The double beef and cheddar will be enjoyed during the Saints game. So I'm going to dive into this fried mac and cheese bite. I got 2 cameras to show it to. I feel like high tech.
Those words sound like it can't not taste fantastic. Fried mac and cheese. Yes.
Yeah. Now, my only critique would be this was like $5 and there's 4 of these tiny little balls. But yeah, it's goddamn delicious.
I grew up, Jeff, in North Carolina, South Carolina. We deep fry everything. So deep fried mac and cheese balls. Yeah. Okay. I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah. It's now I will say this though. I get mac and cheese. And I've even thought I might do this is a fast food restaurant mac and cheese review because most of them are really shitty. The pasta is super overcooked. The cheese is not very cheesy. Sometimes it's like a soup. Like, it's like you need to eat it with a spoon and the cheese is just dripping down like a soup. So fast food places do not nail mac and cheese as much as they should. But Arby's doesn't do anything half-assed.
No, Arby's took an interesting turn. As everybody else tried to go cheaper, I feel like Arby's pushed their prices up and just said, we're going to do some outlandish shit that other people don't. And it seems to be a viable business model.
They have the meats.
Well, I don't know if we consider it fast food or not, but like Boston Market's mac and cheese is fantastic. That I can deal with. KFC is hit or miss.
Yeah, KFC, I've had some really bad ones, but I also have had good ones.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A has mac and cheese now.
Yep.
I scalded. Last time I burned my mouth so bad I couldn't taste for a couple of days was that mac and cheese.
Well, I finally broke down the last time I went to Chick-fil-A, and I just bought a bottle of the Chick-fil-A sauce.
I've got a bottle of that in the fridge.
Right, because I think the only reason I truly go to Chick-fil-A is their nuggets are okay. I think their chicken is overpriced, but the Chick-fil-A sauce might be the best thing in the entire world. You can put that on anything.
All right. I'm underwhelmed opening up this cheesesteak. This is a piece of the meat.
Oh. What are our toppings? We
onions, peppers, and cheese.
Mushroom?
I see some onions here. I don't actually see any pepper. Oh, there they are. It's mostly meat, but it's almost like roast beef, I think. That's been diced.
Considering how much you hate Philly, have you ever had a legit Philly cheesesteak in Philly?
I've never been to Philly. I don't think I'm welcome there. I don't know if anyone's welcome there.
No. The mayor's not even welcome there. But the places that people will always tell you about are the two that people will talk about are Pat's and Gino's, which are across the street from each other. It's not a good cheesesteak. They just happen to be open at 3 a.m.
That'll do it.
Right. And at 3 a.m., the beef looks probably not as good as that, but chopped up. And then just cheese whiz for the cheese, like literal cheese whiz on top of it. But there are places like Tony Luke's and a couple other places that have phenomenal steak sandwiches. But yeah,
one of these days, I'm going to go there just quickly to stop and get some legit Philly cheesesteaks because it is one of my favorite sandwiches in the world. This is not very good, and how much I love Arby's.
Yes. Well, you remember what was the show?
Man,
that is a drippy. Remember the show Man vs. Food?
Mm-hmm. I love that show.
You remember they did he did like a tournament of sandwiches throughout it was something like he did sandwiches across the nation. He did a bracket and he would go to specialty sandwiches in different areas. The winner of that whole thing through this guy was a pork sandwich with broccoli rabe from it's almost like a farmer's market in downtown Philly. It's called an Amish market, and it's a place called DeNick's. Phenomenal, man. Like literally just like pork loin with broccoli rabe and cheese and like, oh my God. So Philly takes their food for real. I think that's what you could appreciate here. The people, the rest of the bullshit, not so much.
Yeah, no, the people there are all the same to me. Like they're assholes and they're like proud of it. It's like it's not something to be proud of. You're an unpleasant person.
They weren't awful to me at the Sunday night game. And maybe because I was there with 3 Philly season ticket holders and we're a little bit older. But I mean, we talked some trash and stuff. But
and because the Dolphins lost.
Yeah, right. But even when it was competitive, we were talking trash, and it was. I had a better experience there than I had at the Redskins. Well, the Commanders. Worst visiting stadium I've ever been to, man. It was the year that the Dolphins went 1-15, and it was week 1, and we lost to the Commanders, and those were the worst fans. I'm like, why do you even care? It's week 1, and you beat us by like a field goal, and it was just an absolutely horrible experience. That better be a hold, you piece of trash.
Yeah, that was a hold.
But yeah, I mean, the Philly, but here's the thing. I talk about this with Philly fans everywhere. There's a section of Philadelphia that truly believe that this is like heritage, that it's passed down, that they have to uphold the moniker of assholeness when it's just not necessary, right? And there's also, dude, if you lived in South Jersey, you'd be angry at life too. I mean, and that's where a lot of the Philly fans come from. So, and you know, you got to get your frustrations out somewhere. But they weren't that bad.
Mm.
How's the overall taste when you get it together there?
It's okay. The beef is really the weakness, which is not Arby's calling card. I mean, we have the meats usually. The cheese is good. It's a wet sandwich, which I think is fine for a Philly. I mean, you know, I could do with a little more peppers and onions. Are they really going to let Mahomes run for this? Almost.
Watch him at the end too, dude. He's like LeBron James caliber flopping. I'm starting to really dislike Mahomes in this game, and it's not because the Chiefs are winning 21-0. I promise.
I think it is.
It's not. I was calling him out when they were up 7-0. I mean, look, he takes a hit at the end of this. He didn't slide. He went head first, and then watch him throw his shoulders back. No, but watch. Oh, they should like throw the shoulders back, like, oh.
He was trying to get that first down.
I mean, I can't believe we almost let him run for it. We've gotten zero pressure. All this week I've been singing the praise of Bradley Chubb, and then he just disappears.
Here's the remains of this sandwich. It just collapsed in the weight of the juices.
Well, I was going to ask you. So the juices, is it just grease? Is it some sort of au jus? Like what do you got working there?
I think it's mostly the cheese.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to need to bastardize this and be a pig. I probably should have had a napkin. I've never done one of these live.
I keep holding out faith here, man. This offense can score in bunches really fast, but you got to get one on the board.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, you can't.
I need 2 Jalen Waddle touchdowns.
You can't get a comeback going with. I mean, jeez. Well,
can't come back from 21 with 0 points.
I'd like to think that Tyreek is just waiting for an opportunity at this point, right? I mean, it's got to be eating him up right now. That fumble right before the half, the touchdown going back the other way. He's only caught a couple balls. Like Tyreek's got to be, because he's been talking. He's been talking all week.
Yeah. Well, and it's a revenge game of sorts.
Yeah.
Arby's has the meats. I'm going to enjoy this double beef and cheddar later. I would say a swing and a miss on the Philly cheesesteak. Fried mac and cheese ball is delightful. They do have a bacon ranch Philly cheesesteak that was not on the menu. That was what I really wanted to get. But after eating this one, I'll say this. I can make a better one myself. No question. And that's where I draw the line. And usually, you know, Arby's is so good. I love you, Arby's. I still want you to sponsor me, but I would probably pass on the Philly cheesesteak. Drunk Jeff Eats out. All right. I forgot I was recording over here. I don't think I looked at the camera one time.
Chick-fil-A, the honey hot pimento cheese chicken sandwich, actually really good.
Pimento cheese?
Yeah. Pimento cheese with a little bit of
that's been on Drunk Jeff Eats. I greatly enjoyed. I love pimento cheese, man.
I didn't really like it, but on that sandwich, it was fantastic.
I love pimento cheese, and it's so hard to find, at least around here. Like, it's just not available many places.
Wow. Where I grew up, it was everywhere, but I was in the dirty South.
PDQ before COVID. I need to go wash up. I'm a wet mess. Before COVID, PDQ had a pimento cheese chicken sandwich. And they haven't had it for years. So, someone's like, "Oh, Chick-fil-A copied them." I'm like, "Well, not really. They haven't had it since 2020." But I used to love to get that.
Jeff Wilson got another little pass. I mean, he's got like 20 yards receiving. But so far today, only 120 yards. I mean, Kansas City really is bottling this up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're making him check down, and he's not.
Spagnolia's calling a good game, man.
Well, I don't think they're doing anything special. I think it's just a deep cover 2, and they're not adjusting to it.
So
I mean, they have the first 2 plays of this drive. They've gone underneath.
So
take your yards.
Watching all the Dolphins games for this year, there's spurts of this happening, and it was happening on the drive before Hill fumbled. If this offense gets into rhythm, it's almost like McDaniel gets into that nerd zone where he starts seeing this differently. Like right now, those last 2 play calls have been fantastic, and they get into a rhythm, and they can do this very quickly. And it usually caps off with a big strike over the top. So we're going to see what happens here. Jeff Wilson's in the backfield. I like that they didn't give up on that. Jeff Wilson's a hard run. That's a first down. Look, that's a conversion. We're not 3 and out, so let's keep moving. No reason to slow down either. I mean, let's keep this moving back. Nice strong run by Jeff. I love when the offense gets into this sort of a rhythm because there are a lot of playmakers and a lot of attention. Whoa, Claypool lining up in the backfield, motioned out. I
changed my shirt. Hopefully it brings the Dolphins good luck.
I like it.
I feel like it's Dolphins.
Gotta get rid of it now.
Colored.
There you go. All right. It is. So there are times that McDaniel does just start to zone in. It's that it's like he starts seeing the game and the offense starts clicking.
Well, yeah, I know. My daughter's on the spectrum. I know how it works.
Right, you know how it happens, right? So it takes McDaniel.
McDaniel is
100%.
No doubt. He is
no doubt
pretty. I think highly autistic. I know the community frowns upon you labeling high. Yeah. He's not barely on the spectrum. He's pretty good into it.
He's solid in there.
Did you see his press conference? I felt I hate him so much because he reminds me of Colin Farrell's character on Horrible Bosses. But I felt for him as a comedian. He walks in and he's like, "I know what y'all are thinking. I'm much bigger in person." Crickets.
Oh,
so uncomfortable. And he like tries to transition. I'm like, oh, he thought that was going to get a laugh. He's used to. He's used to the polite America media who wants to be your friend is going to be like, it's like when the boss cracks a bad joke, everyone laughs.
Yeah, that doesn't happen in Germany.
That used to make me want to kill myself.
I saw the one guy who asked an incredibly, quality question about the progression of the offense between last year and this year and the routes that are being ran and how they're progressing. And McDaniel, like midway through it, stops and he goes, "Wow." He's like, do you hear that? He was like, that's incredibly intelligent. Like, I'm happy you're watching our game film. And then the guy's just like, "Well, thank you. Because I see some shades of Mike Shanahan." And then McDaniel's like, "Now you're just flexing, aren't you?" The guy was like, a little bit. But, there was your Waddle touchdown. Tua just missed it.
Oh, my God.
That check down. He checked it down when Waddle had him done over the top.
Yeah, the time they break their deep zone coverage. I finished my bottle.
I'm one small drink away from that. But you see what I mean about reads. If Tua actually is reading.
Yeah, he had his mind made up, and the receiver got tackled or fell on that play.
He makes his mind up.
Hopefully that's a defensive hold or contact because the guy he was.
They're not going to give him. This isn't a personal foul. That's not a late hit or anything.
No. I don't think so. I think the receiver, you could see his read. I think it was Tyreek, either tripped or got tackled. And that play actually is a great example of a guy not knowing what the hell he's doing because his one read got taken out and he panicked and had to just run.
Well, that's what I'm concerned about.
Why does he not have a second read?
He doesn't progress. He doesn't progress.
Well,
because
that's
again that check down. Had he just taken one more second to look over the top.
Yeah. So it was Tyreek. You'll see here.
Oh yeah, there's the hold.
Oh no, that's not even the receiver. It must have been Waddle on the other side.
No, he got Tyreek. They got him when he made the first.
No. But the receiver, he wasn't looking at Tyreek. He was looking on the other side of the field. He was looking on the right side of the field. So it must have been Waddle, and he tripped. They didn't call a penalty on that one.
Yeah, so you're seeing what I'm seeing now is like his progressions don't.
There was a one read, and then he panicked when that guy was on the ground, and just he ran it.
That's the same thing that happened with that Cedric Wilson play on the last third down. Is like Cedric obviously was trying to push inside, and he, regardless of what was happening, there was nothing there, and Tua still threw to it.
Well,
That's disturbing, though, because at this point in his NFL career and with an offense with this much talent around it, if you're only going to go through your first one or two, then we're limited.
Yeah. So when the Saints had Taysom Hill starting,
okay,
when Breeze got injured or Winston got injured, there's your touchdown.
Now, hey,
I wanted to catch it, but
let's roll this back. Watch him. That's his third option in the route. One time Tua goes through progression. Watch this when they show it back. He looks left flat. He looks at the cross in the center, and then he catches set over the top. 1, 2, and then comes back to 3.
Yeah.
So, again, here you go.
And
left flat, nothing. Cut, no. Said yes. So he didn't have a predetermined place to go with this ball.
Yeah, and look, that was a throw into coverage. He threw it perfectly.
He really does throw a nice deep ball. People give him shit about his arm strength, but he throws a good deep ball.
Yeah, no, he's fine. But so when Taysom started, the whole thing with him is it would be infuriating because he'd make his progressions, and you'd be like, no, read one guy. If he's not open, run.
Right.
You're a weapon. Tua is not a guy you want running the football and taking hits.
But it's a damn shame in the sense that if you work your progressions through Tyreek, through Jalen Waddle, like if the first one isn't there, the second one could be beating his man. And then ultimately you are always going to have Cedric Wilson against the third or fourth best member of that secondary. Or Chase Claypool, or Braxton Berrios.
I was going to say Braxton Berrios criminally underutilized by the Dolphins.
Yeah, late in games he'll be our third down sort of guy. They use him the way they used Wes Welker. Wes Welker wasn't Wes Welker in Miami. He was that possession guy underneath. But dude, this is 2 touchdowns in 3 weeks for Cedric Wilson. I mean, like Cedric's trying to step up a little bit. I had high hopes for him last year. I really did. I thought a big-bodied receiver with those 2 guys on the outside could make a difference. Now you got to make a play on defense.
Yeah, they just need to make a stop on
That's
defense. Yeah, just make them punt.
But I mean, the offense looked more in rhythm that drive than any other one besides the Tyreek fumble.
Yeah, so, I mean, it was.
They ran the ball a couple times. Jeff Wilson converted.
Yeah, they checked down. They took their shot. They got the penalty. Helped.
Yeah. So it ain't over. We might have a little football left in us yet, Jeff.
Well, I'm starting to amp up. I've got an hour and 20 before my game starts.
Yeah,
you get off camera. I'll never be live during a Saints game because I would be canceled in 2 seconds.
Dude, I am unlike most fans in that aspect. I can't just lock into Miami. If I do, I am completely I can't do it. It's tough. It's been a lot of years of misery, man, and of expectations and hopes that just routinely get beat.
But those expectations are dumb.
Usually. But then when I have a legitimate reason to have expectations, such as this year,
I don't think I think there's a critical flaw with this team. Like I don't now look. That being said, I'll give you this caveat: any team that makes the playoffs could get hot and win the Super Bowl. Football, but every sport, baseball kind of drives me insane.
Yeah,
where I don't. When's the last time the best team in the league actually won the World Series?
2020.
Probably.
It was the Dodgers, because the Dodgers have been the best team in the league for like 3 years.
Yeah, I'd argue the Rays may have been better than the Dodgers, but at least I think those were the two best teams in the World Series in 2020.
Yep. See, give him some protection, and he looks left. He sees the cut. No, comes back.
But
boom.
but the Rays went 40-20 that year.
Yeah.
But I'll say that the two best teams did play in the World Series this year. Not the two best teams even remotely.
No.
And
but they got hot at the right time in the pitching.
You get hot at the right time. The Diamondbacks won 84 games. That team doesn't belong in the playoffs, let alone in the World Series.
Yeah. And thankfully Texas kind of showed them that, right?
And Texas shit themselves too. They only won 90, 92 games.
They should have been way better though. Texas had way more talent than that, right?
I don't know. I think a lot of those guys. I think a lot of those guys had career type seasons. I don't think that this is some sort of dynasty in the making. Offensively, I don't think.
Come on, just tackle, man. The fuck. Oh, Mecole. I forgot Mecole Hardman's back.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's playing angry. He said he lost the game last week, which he didn't single-handedly. They scored 9 points, but the muff punt did lead to a touchdown for Denver.
Got to get pressure, man. I mean, we haven't made Mahomes uncomfortable in quite a while.
No, there was like back-to-back plays, and after that, there's been really nothing. And only rushing 3 again. I guess a fourth guy's kind of coming in here.
They bring them right. They bring them off of the 3-4. So it's either Van Ginkel will come off the edge or Chubb.
You know what? It looked on that play. The Saints do this all the time under Dennis Allen, and the Saints are notoriously horrible against running quarterbacks. But they do they're not rushing the passer, they're containing the passer, making him play in the pocket.
Yeah, David Long was hanging in the middle.
It never works. It never works, but they still do it all the time.
I have no idea what that even was.
Well, I know it was a deflected pass. I thought somebody could have caught the ball, but nobody seemed to care until the ball hit the ground.
All right, so, hey, there's Chubb getting his hand up. All right, Chubby.
Yeah,
Bradley Chubb has been playing
force
better.
It into Kelsey.
Yeah, Chubb has been playing way better.
I think you want more than a pass defense from your star defensive end.
Right. Well, no, he needs to
get a couple pressures on the quarterback, and then we'll say
he comes. Making him step up. Now get out. Oh, there's all kinds of holds. That's beautiful. And AVG got a little shot on him at the end. And, of course, look at Mahomes turn around and start pointing. How dare you?
Oh, I'm shocked that they did not call a penalty on that.
Fuck you. It was inbounds. I really am hating Mahomes at this point. Like, dude, this is the bitchiest quarterback performance I've ever seen.
No. The offensive line came over there fighting because they took a shot on the quarterback. Watch him when he hits the ground.
Watch him when he hits the ground. Bro, you see these kids when you coach them in youth that no matter what happens, they look, the ref, it's not fair. It's not. Like, this is fucking Mahomes this entire game.
Well, yeah, I think he's legitimate on that one.
No, he got hit inbounds.
No, I'm not saying, but I'm saying you ask for a flag. Of course you do.
Look,
well, If you don't, they're never going to call anything. No, I don't
disagree. For it
disagree.
all day, right? Watch him. Watch him get when he hits. It's just pure bitch move.
You got a helmet right to the guy's knee. I don't see anything bitchy about what Mahomes did, dude. He just got blasted into a coach, and he was on the ground.
I'm looking at him evil today, and I've never felt this way. I really haven't. I didn't expect to feel
Yeah, man,
this way.
you're all in your feels, dude.
I am about Mahomes. I am all in my feels about Mahomes right now.
Yeah, you got to get over it, bro.
I just can't handle it. I like a quarterback who would like Philip Rivers.
He didn't do anything on this play that's remotely.
No, when they showed it,
he got fucking drilled by Van Ginkel.
He pops up immediately.
No, he doesn't. He's underneath your coach. What are you talking about?
His head pops up immediately with the shoulder shrug. This is what I've seen from Mahomes all day.
What are you talking about? You're imagining things. You are delusional.
I haven't drank that much. He did, I promise you.
And he's legitimately right in saying, why the fuck did you just let me get blasted when I was going out of bounds? However, I like that they didn't call a penalty, but don't shit on the guy for being like, hey, man, you got to protect me.
Again, I prefer my quarterbacks like Brett Favre or Philip Rivers that would have jumped up and just grabbed
Philip
the guy
Rivers
by
was the biggest bitch in the whole universe. Philip Rivers was the biggest bitch in the universe.
Shit. He wouldn't just look at the refs and shrug.
No, he complained. He was the biggest bitch I've ever seen play quarterback in the modern day.
I don't know.
Brady and then Rivers.
There you go. Hold it. Did Sealer get it? Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did.
And that's Bradley Chubb. Chubb came through.
Wow, why did he? What was Mahomes doing on that play?
I have no idea.
3rd and 20. Get the ball out of your goddamn hands and punt.
He tried to switch it back to the front.
Well, that's the kind of play that can get you back in the ball game.
That is. That's Chubb. Finally, but
I'm not even crediting the pass rush. He held on to this ball for 7 seconds.
Look, was that? Yeah, it may have been Jalen Phillips that knocked it out. No, it was Chubb.
Well, either way, what is he doing?
Should have got rid of it. Yeah, should have got rid of it. But right there's my guy again. Zach Sealer is just
it's 3rd and 20. You're winning by 14 points. You get the ball out and you punt.
So here we go.
I would have even run a draw play or something. I'm not even dropping back. Yeah, but he finishes his progressions. He finishes his drop back. He stands there for 2 seconds. Then he decides, I'm going to step up into what used to be a pocket. That's really a stupid play by Mahomes.
Finally got some pressure. And
I don't know. It wasn't even after 6 seconds. That doesn't count as pressure. That's a coverage sack.
It's going to be a fucking hold.
That was absolutely a coverage sack, which is credit to the defense still, but I don't understand what Mahomes was doing on that play. That was rookie quarterback ball right there.
But isn't that Mahomes' MO, holding the ball too long? I mean, he's always extending the play and spinning out or getting away.
I will say this, as much as I respect the guy as a quarterback, they've said no quarterback in the history of the league has had more turnover-worthy plays that did not get caught by the defense. Like, he should throw 15 to 20 picks every year, and he usually is closer to 10 because guys just drop inexplicably, just can't catch. The defense can't catch balls that hit them in the chest.
Get rid of it. God, man.
Miami's offensive line is breaking down here.
They are. The hold, and then right behind that, just nowhere to go.
Tua had no prayer on that play.
I feel like when Tua spins out, though, he's not – there's rarely a time that ends up in a throw. I mean, he spun out of the pressure, but I mean,
he also spun out to his right, and he's a lefty, so that makes it almost impossible to throw.
Yeah, going across the body that way.
Yeah.
The
last thing he can do is turn over the ball here. They got to at least get 3 out of this.
Mostert can catch the ball too, so I mean, they had him rolling out on the fly. It's high, fuck, man, come on, and the cross was there. It was there.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how you protect that, right? I mean, like, you really can't cover that. And he goes behind him and high.
No, that's again attacking the cover too. I would have liked to see him catch the ball, but it's not a good throw.
I mean, no, not a good throw at all. And he had a lot of juice on it. Tua is usually better on time with that, but when his timing is off, it's off.
Yeah,
This is not field
you
goal
got to
range.
make.
This is not field goal range by any means.
No, they got to get at least 7 yards, right, to make it somewhat of a comfortable, and they almost get a delay a game.
Yeah. You can't walk away from this turnover without putting points on the board.
No, that's where I'm an aggressive guy, but here I'm trying to get 7 yards and kick.
Yeah.
I'm not going for 20. Now, if you get 15, I would consider going for it on fourth.
Yeah. I mean, again, Jason Sanders outside of 40 is not like you don't feel good about it. You don't feel good about it.
This is empty.
I'm there, but I got to see the end of this drive.
I'll put the OJ back in the fridge. I drank so much of it.
Yeah, that's a ton of OJ there, man.
Oh, goodness.
This game
I've got a lot of whiskey, and it's almost noon, so
whiskey time
doesn't even make me a degenerate.
No,
something like that.
Look, the people call that bullshit brunch anyway. It's just an excuse to drink early. Like, stop making excuses. Just own your shit.
Hey, man, I'm embarrassed that I got Arby's for brunch.
Yeah, look,
it wasn't the plan going in.
No, well, when you say brunch, I automatically go to breakfast because if I get to choose if there is a favorite meal for me, I really do love breakfast. I just don't wake up in time in the morning to actually have breakfast and rarely do it. But dude, biscuits and gravy and French toast, bacon, salt, like I'll take that all the time.
I'm going insane for getting the brunch place. I do like, there's a place, the Oyster Bar downtown St. Pete, but there's another one that I go to more often, and their brunch is phenomenal. And I was going to get that, but they probably are so busy. Like, it's hard to get in there on Sundays, and I think they do brunch on Saturdays.
Well, I'm sure like all of your brunch places down there have like a raw bar too, right? Like you have oysters and shrimp and all that other great stuff for brunch. Like we have to find that as a rarity here.
Well, yeah,
it's Baltimore that'll do it, but outside of that, it's mainly just breakfast shit here.
I'm so spoiled living here. I was talking to Little League baseball game Thursday. I was talking to the team we played, and they play on the beach. And we had a road game there a few weeks ago, and it's just, the drive is gorgeous. You go by the Don Cesar, which is like a pink castle. It's a hotel. You got water on both sides. You got the breeze coming through. It's just such a beautiful place. All the palm trees, and it's just like, man, this was a 10-minute drive for me. People pay thousands of dollars to come vacation to places like this. And this is just like a regular, watching a Little League baseball game. It's not like it's
crazy.
Yeah.
I was that way when I was in North Carolina. I lived right off of the Blue Ridge Parkway in Asheville. And in the fall, I would get so pissed off because people would be driving in to come see the leaves change colors. So like traffic was just an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
That penalty on the defense, unnecessary roughness equals first down. Thank you, Chris Jones.
So what was the penalty?
I think he hit Tua late.
Did he?
After it was out.
It
Yeah,
must have been really late because it wasn't.
Oh, no, right there. The shove.
Oh, it was way after the play. What an idiot.
Yeah, that's a really stupid.
Yeah, the play was over. They were kicking a field goal.
And that was going to be a 42-yarder for Jason Sanders. That's like a 10% chance we hit that. Thank you.
Wow.
Chris.
That is stupid.
Thank you so much, Christopher.
That's really look. That's two of their stars have made really stupid plays in the last few minutes.
They have.
Mahomes had just a massive brain fart on 3rd and 20, and Chris Jones. The play was literally over. It was fourth down.
Give it to Raheem. Boom. Remember to run the ball, young man.
Well, they better as hell remember it now because now it's a game. It's 7 points.
Yo, this is where Miami is dangerous. Watch the blocking on the edge, Jeff. all year I've been seeing this play and the way they do this, the kick out and the way that they seal.
They ran the Teron Armstead side, I know.
Right. Now watch Waddle, though, and watch Smythe coming in motion. So you got Waddle kicks his guy out. Smythe seals back. I mean, the offensive line and McDaniel in this group has really perfected this scheme, which is all the more frustrating when they stop running the ball.
Yeah, and that's the look. That's the
it's the San Francisco way, bud.
I was going to say the shades of Shanahan. That's where he learned it.
All right, I'm going to fill this back up. Let's we got a ball game, son.
All right, fill it up.
All right.
Kansas City's defense is now down to 13 points in fantasy, so I'm inching my way back, except for Jalen Waddle has not scored a single fraction of a fantasy point here in the second half. So that's not good. I'm giving up on fantasy. I think I've lost this one already. Oh, swept by my daughter who doesn't know the difference between laundry and football players. That's delightful. What I'm doing right now is playing Wordle. I got it on my third try. You'll have to believe me. I won't spoil what it is. See, that's part of my daily routine. It keeps your brain sharp. It also helps when your starter word has 3 of the letters in perfect position. My starting word is stare, S-T-A-R-E, like stare. I like the order that gives. Oh boy, I got a bunch of messages coming in. Sorry, everyone. Jeremiah's back. Oh, I didn't even take you off the screen.
So you see flag football is going to become an Olympic sport, right?
Yeah. I'm not.
Tyreek Hill was trying to rally up NFL players for that. And I would be in for that. I really would love to see a flag football team.
America does not need NFL players, active NFL players, to win.
No. But
I would say what they should do is get Drew Brees, Randy Moss, just get like a legend squad.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's going to be like Olympic trials, right? Like
there's got to be something.
I'm curious how they form that team. But I would like to see, like, not Tim Tebow, but players like it, like college guys who just aren't good, like Eric Crouch back in the day.
Yeah.
Like the next college quarterback who was a stud in college but's just never going to be an NFL player. I'd like to see, like, big names like that. But also, I would be pissed if a Saints player was on the Olympic flag football team, because if you go blow out your Achilles or your knee playing flag football in the Olympics, I wish ill will upon you.
So we don't just drink and compare foods here on the Boozy Brunch. We learn. Did you know that there's an American flag football league?
Yes.
There is professional
they play
flag
it on
football.
NFL Network. Yeah.
I have never watched
the guys that look like us.
So, like, putting a Tyreek out there, it wouldn't be close. Like, there's no just freakish football players with crazy speed who just don't like to get hit.
No, there are some good athletes, but, like, the quarterbacks usually look like they're my size, like 6'2", 270. Like, I just throw the ball.
Who was that big kid from Kentucky? The quarterback from Kentucky.
Jared Lorenzen. Yeah.
Yeah, Lorenzen.
Yeah, no, I almost my sister got pregnant, but we were going to join a flag league, and I was going to be the quarterback because I have a cannon arm, and I'm like, yeah, this is my calling. But she got pregnant, and we're going to be sponsored by Wing House.
Nice.
That's a good sponsorship.
That's a great sponsorship. They should sponsor Drunk Jeff Eats. I'm just saying.
Yeah, my sister used to work there, and She was a manager, and the chicks there took years off my life. Not always in a fun way.
Right.
Well, it was hilarious. I went out for one girl's birthday, and this chick, I was flirting with her, and she was very standoffish. But the second I started flirting with another girl, she was all over me. Then I'd pay attention to her, and she'd be standoffish again. Then I'd go back to flirting with the other chick, and she'd be all over. Like, it was like the end of the night, by the way. We're at their hotel room they got on the beach, and this one girl and her boyfriend are sleeping in one bed, and this, I think the birthday girl, but maybe not, the girl I was hitting on most of the night who was doing that, she's like, can you get my phone charger? It's out in the living room or whatever. I come back with the phone charger. She is butt naked. I'm holding the charger, and I'm like, now my sister and her boyfriend are waiting in the car for me because it didn't seem like I was going to get lucky. But this chick had been playing with me so much all night. In a moment of weird cock-blocking clarity, I look her up and down and say, where do you want me to plug this in? Plug in the charger, say goodnight, and leave.
Way more willpower than I would have, Jeff. I would take the L of getting played with all night to get played with all night.
I was so infuriated. I was because I was like, I don't know, 29, 30, and this chick's 21, 22 years old.
Even more reason why. Like, congratulate her on the amazing game she played all night. Who cares?
Well, but it was just like, are you like, you're trying to piss me off? What's the man? That is a grown man run by Pacheco.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't get over. I was just so like, I had given up at that point. And then to get I feel like to get the ownership of being like, you wanted to fuck me, and I said no. There was something about it where I was like, that you get what you. And then now I sit here, and I'm like, probably should have.
Right. I mean, it's
what was that?
You might have won the battle, but did you win the war?
Yeah. That almost certainly should have been a penalty on Chubb.
I don't know.
You can't throw a guy's helmet. It's definitely illegal.
But he didn't pull it off. It just pop off.
No, but okay, maybe it wasn't a throw. Maybe it was just momentum.
Off. There was no
I thought he threw it after it came off. You cannot throw a helmet. Ask me about Kyle Turley.
Come on. What you got, AVG? Give me something, Ginkle. Wow, 2nd and 10, and you hand off on the inside to who? You know,
there is a metric in football that says the dumbest play call in the entire world is running on 2nd and 10.
I could see that, especially with Samar J.P. Ryan, right into the middle of the heart of the defense. I mean, I'll take it.
I don't think. I don't think it matters who the running back is. I think it's just a stupid thing to do. I'm not entirely sure why, but they say it's like the dumbest play in football is running on 2nd and 10. The Saints do it more than any team in the league.
Well, because you're gonna,
Oh,
that was close.
Lucky.
Ooh.
I thought that was interference, honestly.
I did too, but I didn't see yellow, and then
no, because he did get to play the ball. I mean, I'm glad they didn't throw the. Oh, that was definitely interference.
Yeah. That contact before. Now, great play at the end of this to get his hand in there to bust it up.
He didn't get his hand. No, that was Valdez-Scantling getting free.
Hey, man.
Yeah. I would say you have no complaints that are legitimate about the officiating in this game, which is odd because every Chiefs game I've seen, the Chiefs have gotten so many calls. I feel like the Dolphins have actually gotten the calls overall in this game.
Well, maybe it's the give back for the Philly game because we got completely hosed there, man. I mean, it
Well,
was
yeah,
really, really bad.
Philly.
I mean, that
I
was
don't.
awful.
I don't understand. The league wants a rematch. I think of the Chiefs Eagles, and I'm not sure why the Eagles.
The Kelsey brothers.
Yeah, but who are we doing? Is because Jason Kelsey doesn't do the big pharma, big bank commercials. He does Campbell's Chunky Soup.
Yeah.
Are we talking Big Soup? Is Big Soup controlling
Campbell's?
That's what Erica
wait.
comedian, was on Adam Carolla's podcast, and she was talking about the whole T-Swizzle and Kelsey thing is all a conspiracy. They're not actually dating. It's just something big pharma hooked up to try to add stuff to the,
I wouldn't put it past them.
The NFL and Big Pharma have teamed up to try to get ratings in an underutilized demographic. Adam Carolla points out, how stupid are Taylor Swift fans? It's like, tell me someone you love and admire. Would you watch a soccer game to get like 8 2-second cutaways of that human being?
No. There was some bullshit about like them trying to petition the NFL for like having a camera on the box where Taylor Swift was sitting for the entire game. Like, what? Like, didn't we go through this shit with Tony Romo and Jessica Simpson? Like,
at least Jessica Simpson was hot. Don't get me started on Taylor Swift.
No, I'm not a fan.
She's
not a fan at all.
Not that her music is very cookie cutter bullshit stupid. She's a 7 maybe. I mean, I'd fuck her, but that wing house waitress I was telling you about, hotter than Taylor Swift.
Well, and here's the other part. Like,
I'm listening, but I'm going to walk off camera. Keep going.
You see me getting angry at Patrick Mahomes for like shrugging his shoulders through everything that he does. My other thing with Taylor Swift is, as much as I'd want to fuck her, she's going to write a song about it, and everybody's going to know that it's about it. And then, it's the weak shit behind that. I mean, like, at least Alanis Morissette, we didn't know she was talking about Dave Coulier till years later. Like, Taylor just writes, she gets into relationship drama to write an album. It's fucking horrible.
So that's one thing I want to do. This is a game I came up with, and I came up with a perfect song title for If She Dated Me, but I can't think of it. I'm going to pour a drink, and I'm going to try to think. But if Taylor Swift dated you, what would the song about you be?
What song are they singing in Germany right now?
Sweet Caroline? I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking. I can't really hear it, but that's what I'm thinking because I heard some bop, bop, boss.
Oh, really?
I think there might have been. I swear to Christ, I think they were singing Sweet Caroline.
Wow, that was a tremendous guess, or maybe they did that last year and it was just in the recesses of my brain.
Did they play in Germany last year?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't remember.
I think, Tom Brady. Fuck Seahawks.
Fear Brady. All right, we got to keep moving. Coming out running the ball again.
All right, it's afternoon, so whiskey is allowed. Whoa, my floor is wet. I almost just busted my ass. Let's remember that next time I stand up, Jeffrey.
There you go. 2nd and 5. Like, that's what I'm saying. Get ahead of schedule. And then again to Mostert, and look at this. Oh, holy shit. Who would have thought? You can run the ball.
Yeah, well, they're only down 7. There's no reason to not run the ball.
Look at Alec Ingold right there, man. Open that wide up. There's really not many fullbacks in the NFL, right? Ingold's one.
The Saints have been using Colin Saunders in goal line. They're 330-pound defensive tackle.
Nice. And
there's our fullbacks on IR.
Oh, no. Who's got it?
That was really lazy ball carrying. I think the Dolphins
really
got it,
lazy
right?
ball carrying. Yeah, it looks like Claypool came up with it. That was really lazy ball carrying.
All right, you got to go to Waddle here. I need the fantasy points, bro.
Yeah, where you at, man? Loaf of bread, son. Loaf of bread.
That's
Chase Claypool, his biggest play as a Dolphin, recovering that fumble.
That is game changing right there.
It is.
I mean, I think the odds of winning the game go to less than 5%
if we turn it over right there on the 27, 28-yard line.
Yeah. The game's basically over.
Ooh.
Yeesh. That was
bad all the way around.
I think Ingold missed a block at the start of the play.
It blew it up and then caught the ball to get.
I got blown. Yeah, that was a pretty ugly design. I feel like it was either really bad execution or ugly design.
Who is that?
It's not Tehran.
It's not Connor Williams. Those are two I'm concerned about. What would the Taylor Swift song be?
Be something about booze.
12-step program. That sounds like a name of a song because she could break down all the steps that she had to go through.
I came up with a really good one off the cuff, and I wish I had written it down. It involved sex, cocaine, and booze.
You wonder, some people will say, and I guess it is, but watching the downward spiral of Britney Spears, you got to figure that that's been happening all along, right? And
Free Britney hasn't aged well.
No. I mean, don't get me wrong. I will absolutely still I get the alert on my phone that says Britney Spears posted on Instagram. I'm like, yep.
Oh, I don't follow her on Instagram because I find it sad, but I wonder if that was the.
Well, I mean, look, I don't get sad until after the video.
I mean, look,
I want to see what it is.
I'm probably 3 years away from being at the point in life where I could actually fuck Britney.
Dude, at this point, I'm pretty sure that if she called an Uber, the driver might be
well, I'm just saying, I'm moving my way through the spheres of people.
I got tomorrow's
Federline. Tomorrow's podcast guest is another former Rogan guest.
Oh, nice.
He actually, the episode he did on Rogan is not on Spotify. It is, if you look up the worst Rogan guests of all time, he's on all of them.
Really? Was that Rogan's fault or guest fault?
Oh, they just hated each other. So Brian Dunning, the guest, he does he's very much with big science, and I don't say that disparagingly, but he's one of those people that anything that whatever's deemed the science, which is very much in flux nowadays.
Yeah.
That's the official story, and everyone else is an idiot. So he, said Rogan's an idiot and all this before he went on the podcast. And Rogan called him out on it, with 9/11 stuff and stuff like that. And they just bickered and argued the whole time. It was just and I could look.
Went down.
Nobody's going to watch this and get this back to Brian Dunning. I can see he's a bit arrogant, or you know what it is? It's the I know everything and. If you say something I don't want to agree with, but you're factually not able to argue, oof, you almost gave up that first game.
Right? Tyreek's trying so damn hard.
Yeah, you got to know where you are in the field, man.
Yeah, just take that and let's go. No, but isn't that a quality that comes with intellect? I mean, I think most folks who, even if you're intellectually superior, you can be bested or have a wrong point. But
I think, yes, I think what you're saying, the smarter you are, the less you are afraid of being wrong or learning something new.
Oh, and you've got more ways to wiggle out of being wrong, right?
Well, yeah. So one thing I brought up, I said, yeah, so here's the problem with big science is Joe Rogan, I think I said a comedian who I won't name for obvious reasons. There we go, Jalen Waddle. When he took ivermectin. Now, ivermectin is a Nobel-winning human medicine that everyone, if you're traveling to or from Africa, you need to take ivermectin. It is saved millions of lives.
Over the horse dewormer.
I'm not saying whether or not it was effective to deal with the demonetization virus, as it's called. because you can't say the word anymore. I'm not saying whether it's effective or not, but when Sanjay Gupta goes on and says, don't take horse paste, that's disingenuous. And he's like, well, it never was proven to be effective. I'm like, that's not the argument. It's not horse paste. It's human medicine. He's like, yeah, but it was never. He's like, I don't know Sanjay Gupta, what his background is and how qualified he is. I'm like, well, that doesn't matter. You're sitting here like, you can just say, right. They were wrong. They were wrong.
Right. Well,
they tried to mislead the public. So why, if they mislead you about that, and again, it's not whether or not it was effective. It's simply, it was human medication. It was not horse medicine that he took.
Correct. Well, I think that's the most troubling thing to me on such a larger scale, is that there's a large portion of our population that's all you need to do. And you just, go into the media and call something horse paste, and everyone just assumes that's reality and they just run with it because that's what they were told. In today's day and age, information is so easy to gather. You don't have to study it. You don't have to become an expert in it, but it doesn't take long to debunk bullshit. Right. And the fact that people don't even take the time to do that, it's really worrying, man. I mean, it's troublesome.
And my point is,
we deal with every day.
Yeah. And my thing is with it, it's like you lie about this for no real good reason, except for, in my opinion, to benefit Big Pharma.
Sure.
Because I don't know whether it's effective or not. It doesn't matter. You're lying because you're trying to keep that emergency authorization stuff in place. And if there's an over-the-counter medicine that deals with it, you don't have that.
Right.
So it is an outright lie, and this isn't saying anything about vaccinations or anything like that. But you lie about that, why are we supposed to believe you about anything? I don't know if you remember this, like April 2020, when Tony Fauci said, I don't think people will ever shake hands again. It's stupid.
Yeah.
But you can fuck a stranger on Tinder, but you should do her from behind. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong? Like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. We can never shake hands again, but you can go fuck people on Tinder, but try to do it doggy style.
Dude,
I'm like, this is just, also, not to be a crazy person, but also when he's like, churches need to be closed. Even outdoor gatherings of churches, they should be shut down. What about these BLM rallies? Oh, I don't have any opinion on those.
Yeah, no. Well, all of it is really, again, it gets uncomfortable when you can clearly see the agenda that's being pushed and people don't even have the want to educate. Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, when you can see, all right, this is now big. It's getting late in the game, but I think you got to do a smart play here and pin them deep and play defense.
Well, we're only coming up on third.
Shot. I take a deep. Just don't do what Mahomes did and take a strip sack.
Right. What happened here, man? I mean, we completely lost him coming off the edge. Yep.
Yeah, Waddle is definitely not healthy.
No, not fully.
Because he's not even on the field.
3rd and 26.
Yeah, there's not many plays for this.
A couple in the Dolphins playbook.
I mean, take a deep shot here. Oh,
wait.
What the fuck was that?
I see a flag. That could have been unnecessary roughness because somebody got on.
Did they do another really stupid penalty?
It could be.
Well, did they hit him in the head maybe? Because that throw was god-awful.
Right there. That followed through.
No, they threw the flag before that, and that's not a.
Yeah, they picked it up.
He didn't put body weight on him.
Fuck.
I think that was. Why did he throw the flag? It looked like it must have been offensive.
They were going to call a hold. They were going to call an offensive hold.
Yeah, that definitely wasn't roughing the passer. That was a really bad throw, though.
Yeah, it was.
I'm not really sure what happened on.
I don't know what happened.
Maybe the ball just slipped.
Out. Yeah, it floated out. All right. Well, we still got.
I assumed maybe he got hit in the head because that throw was so cattywampus. Is that an accurate?
Oh my goodness, dude! Nicole, thank you. Why did he catch that?
Why is he fielding that ball to
Yeah, why
two?
did he catch that? Why? I'll take it, but why?
Their long snapper's got some attitude. I like it.
Oh, yeah. He's been around for a while, dude. He keeps coming back. So
I wanna push for Madden to involve long snappers in their video game.
where you have to almost like when you kick a field goal, how you have to hit the
If you don't have a long snapper, the snap gets fucked up. Yeah, and all the
you gotta snap it correct.
Yeah, but because look, it's Mr. Pfizer.
That would be interesting though, like the kick meter.
So Zach Wood is the Saints long snapper, and he's famously been the lowest rated player on Madden year after year.
Yeah.
Like it's a running joke at this point that they always make him the lowest rated player. And so, I got Madden 24 for my son, and we're playing, and it's like, recommend you cut Zach Wood, and it's like, I don't like to do that. But they just have the center snap the ball no matter what on everything.
Right.
There's no longs. So I'm like, how hard would it be that you have to carry a long snapper like in real life? Like that's all he does is snap the ball. But if you don't have him, your kicking game's going to suffer. Because you've seen a game, right, where the long snapper's been injured.
Yeah.
That team loses every time because they cannot do they can't punt, they can't kick.
I love the idea where you have it, but like I said, I haven't played the Madden games in a long time. But back in the day, you had the kick meter, right? So if you're a kicker, you had to go power and then the accuracy.
Yeah.
Right? You should have the same thing for the snapper. Power, accuracy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can do that where you have to do 2 meters.
Right.
Well, I was going to just say it can be automatic, but your kick meter gets the timing gets all cattywampus if you don't have a long snapper snapping the ball. If you just have Eric McCoy or whatever, centers don't long snap.
Step up, man. Got to make a play here. This is where Bradley Chubb, now Jalen Phillips in the last couple of games in big situations has actually made a couple plays. I'd love to see him get athletic coming off the side. Like our boy from the U needs to step up.
Ooh.
Kendall Lamb's going to come in. That's fine. Robert Jones was a guy who was damn near cut a couple of years ago, but he's grown to be better. I attribute a lot to that to Ron Armstead.
I love Teron.
He's a good dude. He's a veteran. He handles his business.
I am curious. He's one of those guys that I would love to have a conversation about Hall of Fame.
I think when you look at overall impact, it should be a no-brainer.
Yeah, I mean, Tony Boselli just made the Hall of Fame.
Right. I think
Armstead's definitely played more games than Boselli ever did.
I think he's as good as Boselli easily.
Yeah, when he's on the field, he is never not great. It's just, whether you get him for 6 games or 16 games. And even if you get him for 16 games, he's going to be injured on the injury report the whole season.
You notice the first play of that drive was getting the ball in Kelsey's hands. They threw a tight end screen out with 3 blockers in front of him. They're definitely going to try to get Kelsey back involved in this. I think they stopped him a little short.
Yeah, just barely. Yeah, this is
again.
Play. It's a low percentage play to stop them, but
sure.
Look at the clock. Like they get a first down on a running play here. They take.
You still got 2 timeouts in the 2-minute warning, and the good or the bad, whatever you want. Like Miami doesn't need a ton of time to score a touchdown.
Yeah, but the deep ball just hasn't been there.
It hasn't been. But if you get it underneath, Tyreek can still bust one. They're going to stack it up hard here, huh? I didn't think there was.
Well, I think they got to run the ball here. They can take it to the 2-minute warning if they. Oh, I was wrong.
Wow, that's huge. That is fucking huge.
To be honest, Andy Reid, horrible.
Ow. Missing
run the damn ball,
now, aren't you? Missing the enemy now, aren't you? Look at that.
The enemy never called the plays.
Deshaun Elliott and Jalen Ramsey just locked up Travis Kelce, bro.
Yeah, well, yeah, you absolutely have to double him. That's a no-brainer. But you run the damn ball. Pacheco's getting 4 or 5 yards a pop.
Carry. Yeah. Holy shit. All right, then.
Really bad. Got way too cute there. And again, the knock on the Dolphins defense and their whole team is that they can't take a punch.
Right. And
why don't you just fucking run it? Kansas City has actually turned it this year. Look at their games. Kansas City's a defensive team at this point. Right. Their offense is not lighting up the scoreboard against anyone.
Look, I'm going to say this now. Isaac took a well-deserved shot earlier saying that I'll no longer be a Dolphins fan. But look, if I'm a Dolphins fan, there's no other place I'd rather be than where we are right now. We have a chance to tie this game. Our offense against Kansas City's defense, 2 timeouts, 2:28. I'm okay. Like, I wanted to be competitive. That's all I want to do is be competitive with a team that people routinely are talking about as Super Bowl contenders. And Miami today is playing competitive. Get him, Raheem. Oh, more than he runs hard. He runs hard. Boy. This guy has been just a blessing, bro.
By the way, did you see that Miami fan who's wearing a headset in the stands?
Yeah, they do that shit. Try to be McDaniel.
I hope that guy gets hit by a bus.
Me too. Me too. I don't like it.
He was wearing a Dolphins jersey and a headset. Like, at least if you're going to go in costume.
Right. You don't throw on a Tua jersey and a headset.
Yeah.
Bro, that was a hell of a
McDaniel is so fucking ugly, dude. He's disturbing. He's disturbing to look at. I'm not going to lie. There are a handful of people in this world. And look, I'm not shaming ugly people, but there are some people who are so disturbing to look at, and Mike McDaniel is high on that list of people.
Hey, look, he is a weird dude, but I'm here for all of it. I
don't need you to look like Sean Payton is not an attractive man. I don't need you to look like a supermodel. I just need you to not be so ugly that it bothers me.
He has that weird comb over, like all of McDaniel's hair, like combs over together. It's almost like back in like Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
His little capri pants, his whole thing.
There's a whole bunch of messed up stuff.
But he does it on purpose. I think that's the part that bothers me.
It might be.
Belichick looks like a homeless person because he's just wearing what he's comfortable in. He's not like a finely catered, this is my outfit. He's just like, cut the sleeves off this. It'll be more comfortable.
Look, side note, New England was in Miami last week, and I saw a lot of shots of Robert Kraft in the press boxes and everywhere else. And not one person even alluded to the joke that was standing in front of him. Robert Kraft was back in Miami. How do you not make a massage parlor joke at some point? I mean, just even thinly veiled, right? I mean,
anyone in the St. Pete area that knows of a nice massage parlor, I'm about to sell my house, and I think I'm going to make regular use of those.
Yeah.
I mean, they seem much more honest than like strip clubs, you know?
100%. It's an understood honest exchange.
It's a transaction.
And, you know, normally there's a language barrier, which can be a positive. I mean, I'm just saying. It's, I don't like, but what I never, ever understand, and it'll go back to the Robert Kraft, the Deshaun Watson, the everything else, is once you hit a certain level of money, like you've outgrown the risk of all of this stuff down here, right? I'll never let that go. Like,
Robert Kraft safe place just that whole thing was a stupid witch hunt.
Well, yeah,
Robert Kraft. Deshaun Watson was not going to massage parlors. He was getting legitimate massages and trying to and doing inappropriate things.
Get him, Jeff. You cannot convince me that women offering massage services on Instagram are legit. Not all of them.
I'm not saying Instagram, but I was a longtime member of a legitimate massage chain, and there was never any hanky-panky funny business
Did they advertise on
Instagram? For years.
Did they advertise on Instagram?
Oh, I don't know. They're a national chain.
Right. No, these were independent massage contractors on Instagram.
I'm still upset. Oh, I can't tell that story.
I'm not,
I got a legitimate massage. Oh, my. That was a really risky throw. I got a legitimate massage in Costa Rica.
Why?
And I think I found, well, I had a rough day of ATVing, so the massage, and I'd ridden in a plane for 4 hours the day before. And
you don't need the illegitimate part of the massage in Costa Rica. You can just.
Well, I think if I had asked, it would have been more, but I didn't realize it. All I'm saying is I've gotten a lot of legitimate massages, and never, ever do they accidentally graze your penis.
No. There's never.
This chick definitely did several times, and I was just like,
Yeah, no, that wasn't accidental. No, that wasn't accidental.
No, it wasn't accidental, I know. But I'm like, am I supposed to ask? I still regret it to this day.
Yeah, look.
And I know, to be fair, I know another guy got a massage, and he said similar thing, like, it was legitimate. He's like, but I felt like it was, like.
Jeff, when you decide to after you sell the house, I'm just saying, you can't do your drunk. What the fuck was that pass?
What in God's name?
It's
a really bad time to have some weird miscommunication.
I wasn't even miscommunicating. There was nothing that he could have been throwing that ball to. It had to slide.
I know. That's not the first. That's the second one he's done in like the last 5 minutes.
That slipped out of his hand.
Yeah, that ball. That even if he's trying to throw there, which I don't think he was. That's not an NFL throw. Just
no.
It was a balloon.
I was watching a bunch of 7-year-olds throw a football around the backyard.
And it looked like Wilson actually. It looked like Wilson actually had his guy beat.
Had him beat. Now what? Timeout, Miami. I was going to say, look,
you got to imagine Tyreek's the guy on this play.
Well, I mean, and if they roll the coverage that way, you got to look back Waddle. I mean, you have two legitimate threats here.
Yeah. Yeah, is Tua going to take the time to actually go through progressions, or is he just going to lob one up for Tyreek, though?
It's going to be motion. I think, look, you'll see Waddle and Tyreek line up on the same side. Tyreek will come in motion. If Tyreek gets a step in the motion, they might just seam him straight down. If they show any kind of man-and-man, I think Tua can hit him in between the corner and the safety.
Well, this is
if
definitely
they hold tight, you're going to get them on coming back. Berrios is in the game. Now, don't sleep on my boy. Braxton Berrios makes big plays.
Yeah, well, that's where I would argue you should be looking here.
Right? No motion. Nope, there we go. Kick and set out. Oh, motherfucker.
My God in heaven.
Son of a bitch. Didn't you just talk about snaps? Yeah,
what was that? Was Tua not looking for the ball yet?
It was low.
Mature?
I mean, he should have caught it, but
yeah, but I don't know that Tua was expecting it.
It didn't look like it.
But it looked like if he was, he doesn't have an excuse. Yeah, he's not looking at the ball right here.
No, he was. He just meant that's on Tua.
That's absolutely on Tua. Hit him.
That's absolutely on Tua.
That's a fine snap. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's fine.
It was right on point, dude.
Yeah, it was
playable. It was Tua.
It hit him in his hands. Wow, what a
shit way to lose a game. A horrible fucking half-ass weird punt throw from Tua on third down, and then fourth you can't even feel the snap.
Isaac should hop in here and just go on a rant about Tua.
Go ahead, Isaac. If you're here, jump in. Send him a link, Jeff.
Oh, he knows how to get in.
The fuck? Look, I wanted to be close. They kept it close.
I think the defense gave up 14 points.
The defense did a great job. Against
it got the stop it needed to.
We absolutely contained Travis Kelce. That's got to be Kelce's worst game of the year. We took it away from him.
Yeah. Ugly. You know,
Kelce, 3 catches for 14 yards. 3 catches.
Yeah. No, smart defense. You take their best weapon away.
And they did that with Jalen Ramsey, like we talked about before the game. They really did that well. Look, Mostert ended up with 85 yards rushing on 12 carries, averaging 7 yards a carry, dude.
Yeah, it would have been nice.
The entire first half.
Yeah, maybe if he ran the ball at all in the first half, things would have been different.
Right. But at the end of the day, I'm not.
Well, you certainly can't watch this game and say one team is miles ahead of the other one.
No, not at all.
I mean, that's I think the takeaway is that, you know, now you got to be rooting for the Chargers and the Bengals Sunday night and Monday night.
Yeah, the quote unquote best team in the AFC. We just hung with them, punch for punch. You know, the fumble from Tyreek that gets returned the entire way.
Here's an opinion you're not going to like. 2 best teams in the AFC are playing tonight.
I don't think Buffalo's one of them anymore, Jeff.
I know you hate Buffalo. You know what Buffalo has? I've said this about the Saints for years, and this goes back to Stephon Diggs' touchdown when the Saints should have won and gone to the NFC Championship game in 2017. The no call against the Rams, which again that's a referee mistake, but nonetheless, the Saints have choke in their DNA. The Bills' defense has that choke gene that they just can't. The other team gets the ball with 20 seconds left. You assume the Bills' defense is going to let them score.
Yeah. Buffalo's as flawed. This is not the best Buffalo team we've seen in the past 3 years. Meanwhile, I can honestly say this is the best Dolphins team we've seen in the past 3 years. This might be the best Cincinnati team we've seen in the past 3 years. Buffalo is flawed in a lot of ways. They still haven't found a run game. I mean, you know, James Cook is bringing a little bit to what they're doing. They just brought in Fournette, but they still haven't found a run game. They really don't have a consistent number 2 beside Diggs. Gabe Davis pops every now and then, but he disappears. Josh Allen still very much is. He's a maverick, dude. He's a wild card.
Josh Allen he's modern day Brett Favre with big size and more running ability.
But there's sometimes he makes some just head scratching, what the hell are you doing sort of plays.
Well,
and then you go to the defensive side of the ball, they're not overly impressive.
Did we not just watch 2 quarterbacks who made a lot of head-scratching, stupid plays?
We did.
One of whom is the best player in the league, probably.
We did. Tua had his probably worst game of the season, dude. Tua only threw for 193 yards.
Yeah, it was an ugly game.
It was bad.
It was an ugly game for Tua. There was not much there, and I do think there's teams that can play the 2 high safeties and take away the deep pass. If you do it right, because again, that's you were talking. New England tried it, sure, but if you don't do it right, then you're not doing. There's no point in doing it. If you actually have the discipline to stay back and play those 2 high safeties against the Dolphins, the deep ball margin for error is you know, we saw a couple that just barely missed Waddle. Tyreek, I think, should have caught that one, but. That's the margin for it. Has to be a perfect ball in a tiny spot to get it above the coverage. And Tua just didn't look like he had the patience. I think that was part of it, especially in the first half.
He didn't read. It was one to go.
8-yard gains. You can drive down the field by gaining 5 yards of play.
Yep.
You don't need a 70-yard touchdown every play.
I mean, look, Mahomes, 185 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, they controlled. So,
and look,
away from this, right?
Mahomes, the one thing he did, and now he had that horrible fumble that was really stupid on his part.
Yep.
But he was happy to take the checkdowns.
Mm-hmm.
He had the one play to Valdez-Scantling that probably should have been PI. But he didn't take many down the field shots.
No.
I'm sure the Dolphins, I mean, we know a lot of plays, I called them out. They're rushing 3, dropping 8 in coverage. So they were playing a deep zone too. So with a double, I think, on Kelsey most of the game.
This is the most competitive the Dolphins have been in a quote-unquote big game, right, against a contender. And really, when you look at the box scores, it's damn near even. On the flip side of that, the defense was healthy for the first time pretty much all year. And they contained a Kansas City offense that had struggled the week before, I'll give you. But holding Travis Kelce to 3 catches and 14 yards and Mahomes to 185 yards and 2 touchdowns, there's something to be said for that. The defense played really well, right? And then also what we talked about going into the half, Jeff, I told you what I didn't used to get from Miami that I get now is they adjust. The second half was 14-0 Miami. Second half, Kansas City was shut out. And in the second half, Miami moved the ball and scored.
I'll say this: that
I'll take the positives.
As much as you shit on Tua, and he deserves it for this game. Boy, Chiefs Eagles in 2 weeks on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill is probably the player who cost the Dolphins this game.
Sure.
There was at least one, maybe 2 he should have caught, and then his fumble was the game-deciding play.
100%.
I mean, he did not. I don't know. I'm curious to see. The only thing.
Tyreek will own it. This is why I do love that guy.
Sure.
Tyreek will put it on himself more than anybody else.
Here's the one thing I worry about with the Dolphins. You remember 2 years ago, 3 years ago, pre-McDaniel, the Dolphins played the Ravens on Monday Night Football, I think it was, or Thursday Night Football. And they ran the same blitz like 30 times in a row in the second half. And Lamar Jackson had no answer.
Zero blitz. Right, the zero blitz.
Yep. Zero blitz, just rushed everyone and manned everyone. And Lamar Jackson looked like a 7-year-old.
Yes.
He had no ability to counter it. The offense
couldn't figure it out.
And the Ravens hit the shits after that game because teams are like, hey, this guy's not good enough to he hasn't learned how to play quarterback enough to account for this. So they pull that out, not as extreme as the Dolphins did. I am a little curious whether teams will watch this film and say, yeah, we can do this. You would just keep them underneath and make them beat you this way. We're okay with Mostert getting 7 yards a pop because they're not patient enough at a play caller level to do that. They want the shots. Yeah, Tyreek 8 for 62. That's a pretty pedestrian day.
We talked about this in our show, the midseason review or whatever it is. What I really like about this is the Dolphins now go into a bye. Okay. And the adjustments that, like I talked about from first half to second half, you give a guy with McDaniel's mind and work ethic a week, he's not going to be game planning so much in this open week for the next week behind it, right? This open week is going to be going back and looking at the Buffalo game. It's going to be going back and looking at the Eagles game. It's going to be going back and looking at the Kansas City game. And he's a smart enough play caller, and I think they can adjust accordingly to be able to overcome these things. Not to mention, coming out of the bye, we should be getting damn close to having Achane back. So you add Devon Achane to this offense again. I feel pretty good about where we're at. I mean, 6-3, I can't be mad at this. And
no,
when you look at the schedule the rest of the way, I mean,
the only thing is
definitive, but we're making the playoffs.
Most likely, you still got the Jets twice.
We got the Raiders, we got the Jets, the Commanders, the Titans.
No. I'm not saying it in the way you are. You got the Jets twice.
Yeah, that's
the Jets. The Jets, if they win on Monday night, are a half game behind the Dolphins.
That's crazy. I can't even start to figure that out.
I'm picking the Chargers to win that game. I think the Chargers are hitting their stride, but I don't know. And look, they could come out of their bye week tied with the Bills and the Jets for first place at 6-3.
We could, and we could.
Now, still,
Raiders
6-3 is a fine record.
Raiders, Jets, Commanders, Titans.
I don't think the Jets are a gimme, man.
Okay, so if it's 3-1, you're 9-4.
Yeah, and that's good.
Right, and then you finish Cowboys, Ravens.
Yeah, it's just what is going to be the end result. I'm
with you on that.
It's can this team play Cincinnati or Buffalo or Kansas City in the playoffs and win?
We got a lot to do before then. We're not ready right now. Not at all.
No, I don't know if they have.
This was the most complete game, competitive.
You know what this is? To me, again, non-Dolphins fan, but it's when the big, high-scoring Big 12 team goes into the college football playoffs against an SEC teams and just gets their heads drowned in a puddle.
Yep.
That's to me, but you can't change your personnel. Like you got your roster's what it is.
But you can get healthy. And this was the first time Ramsey and Xavier Howard were on the same.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're as healthy as any team in the league, I would argue. At this point.
And the defense looked pretty good today.
Yeah,
you just took Kelsey away.
Right. Yeah, I'm not. I get that. Fangio did a great job with his game plan. I think McDaniel lacks. I think he's a fine coordinator with someone who can maybe put some. If Mike McDaniel was a OC for Dan Campbell, that team would win a Super Bowl easily. I think Ben Johnson, the Lions OC, is similar to McDaniel as far as his genius and outside-the-box thinking, but he has a hard ass to make sure this team has a tough, punch-you-in-the-face DNA. Mike McDaniel gives you a lot of capri pants wearing energy.
Yeah. No,
I mean,
right. We don't have that punch you in the mouth energy. We don't. And that's really what Philly did. Philly just manhandled them. And Buffalo did too.
Well, and look, Philly, I hate their coach. He's the biggest prick on the planet by all accounts.
Yeah, he's an odd dude.
But he has that dog mentality. Sirianni is an asshole. He's happy to be an asshole. He's got that. He is the personification of Philadelphia, which I hate so much. But at a point in football, being that bombastic asshole who's I'm going to punch you in the mouth,
it works.
It works. Football's a different game than any other. I mean, I don't think it works in any other sport. I don't think baseball managers, that old school Lou Piniella style, would never work today.
No. Phil Jackson was, assigning reading assignments to the Bulls and preaching Zen and everything else.
Yeah, well, and look, Joe
NBA, right?
Joe Madden, great manager. Love the dude. He was a very cerebral guy. Like it was, we're doing things different. We're doing themed dress-up road trips and stuff. But that's part of it, is keeping your guys loose, keeping them happy. In football, I think McDaniel is one of those guys. I think he's Joe Madden's definitely not autistic, but yeah, I don't know.
No, you're right. And it is, I love Dan Campbell. I love his approach and his attitude. I'll look at my silver linings as we go back through it all. I think Fangio and the defense took big steps today. They were healthy. We didn't get beat up by Travis Kelce. We took away a weapon from a team. Even though it ends up in a loss, you took away the biggest weapon from a team. And that's something we haven't been able to do. I mean, we've routinely been eaten up by A.J. Brown, right? by against Stephon Diggs, and those are the guys who ate us up. And we made plays to do that. McDaniel was in the offense concerned me today, and now you can see a little bit about what I see with Tua, which is a lot of this is systematic. It's set up for his guys to win one-on-one matchups and for Tua to make one read. If your first guy wins his matchup, then that play is going to work beautifully because that's where it comes together. When Tua has to come off that read, he's very hesitant to do so. The one touchdown to Cedric Wilson was one of the only times I saw him actually progress through the route tree. Outside of that, I mean, how many balls did he just throw where there was nothing there, right? There was nothing there, but that was his read, that was his throw, and he threw it. So I think you've definitely got to get more progressions going that way through the offense because there's a lot of talent on that team, and guys will get themselves open. He missed Waddle. I mean, we saw him. The one on the straight check down, they needed, 4 yards to hit the 5-yard hitch, and Waddle had dude beat way over top, and Tua never even looked at it.
Yeah.
Right, because he was getting the 5-yard hitch for the first down. So it's like that focus on one particular area. So with that, Jeff, I know you got about 5 minutes before your Saints game.
Yeah, I'm going to
on that
to change my shirt. I mean, it was good luck.
It worked. I mean, we got back in this thing.
Not to completion, but it got us close.
Much like your Costa Rican massage.
Yeah. Luckily, I only had to wait a couple hours and spend $200 to rectify that situation.
We'll buy everything.
Hey, everyone, make sure you're subscribed to this channel, Dads and Drinks Show, Drunk Jeff Eats. Also, FL Teams, subscribe to that channel. Jeremiah maybe will be recording a reaction video.
I think I've reacted all the way through this when I'm done today.
Well, this isn't on FL Teams, though. Maybe Isaac.
I'll give Isaac. You know what, Isaac? I'll give you one.
I even put the FL Teams logo up there at the end, so he can clip this.
We're up there without the pink backing at all.
Yeah. Otherwise, Jeremiah, remember when you're filming. I'm talking to a boomer here, folks.
Right, I know.
When you're filming, horizontal, unless you're going to be a minute or less, then vertical.
Got him.
Horizontal.
Look, Isaac, send Jeff a thank you for this because you're going to get one of the first videos you can use today.
All right, folks, make sure you're subscribed to all the things. Follow us on social media. JFrog817, right?
Yes, sir. It's the most fun I've had during a Dolphins loss all year, so thank you for that, Jeff.
Yeah, and hopefully you got – I didn't get as drunk as I thought I was going to, but I wanted to stay soberish for the Saints game. So I'm going to get through the Saints game, no doubt. I'm high energy right now. All that sugar's rushing through me from the fucking 2 ounces of orange juice I mixed in with my vodka and champagne.
Have fun, my friend.
All right, who dat? I don't know when or if we'll do something like this ever again, but it was fun.
Good times. I love it, man. Hey, I'm up for any of the foreign games. If you're in, let's go. Anytime they're playing early, I got nothing to do on Sunday mornings besides get drunk.
Anytime I don't have my kids, I think this might be a thing.
Let's do it. All right, man.
All right. Peace all.
Have fun. Who dat?